Ahoy and good day once again to ye mateys! I'm Josh the Pirate, and it brings me a massive haul of pleasure once again to welcome ye to the Humblewood. Above me I have me hearty crew, the winsome Rachel Foucar, the witty Mitch Earnshaw, the worldly Dan Suelto, and the whimsical AJ Winters. And behind the scenes today, fortunately, we have the wondrous Serum76. We must also shout out to our world-class artist Breepie, whose artwork you can see on the screen right now, and the Deck of Many, who are the minds behind this particular setting. We also have some very welcome news. We have a sponsor for this season, Woot & Forge. They design and manufacture high-quality wooden gaming tabletop products using beautiful Australian and exotic hardwoods like that right there, what AJ's got. And they do incredible work. You can check it all out on their website, wootandforge.com. They even do custom orders, and they are local to WA, so you can support a local business if you live in WA. If not, you can support a foreign business. That's good too. And stay tuned next week, ladies and gentlemen, and beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, for an amazing giveaway from Woot & Forge. I'm excited. Heart palpitations all round. The observant among you may also have noticed an addition to our overlay, or the people who were here last week. We have a special guest tonight. It's the wicked Sean O'Donovan. Woo! Guys, tell me who you are. Sean, who are you? Where are you from, and where can we find you?
I am Sean O'Donovan. You can find me. It's very early for me. You can find me at Odo_Sean on all social media, but more frequently you can find me at Paradise RPG, where I am the Mr. Paradise himself, as I like to say, and I DM over there for our flagship show, Advantage in Paradise, which is later tomorrow morning for you folks, in my homebrew world of Ardoon, and I do a lot of other creative stuff over there, and storytelling, voice acting, map drawing, mini painting, gaming, all sorts of stuff. It's a lot of fun. Check it out. Come join us if you ever are up that early for you folks, or if I'm here doing this, because I do a lot with Roll for Damage also.
Yes, he does. And sometimes we get up early for him. It's
Exactly.
a mutually back-scratchy relationship. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be getting up early for Sean on Saturday because TSA is beginning once again. The Scales Above returns.
Warwick will be back. My other bad dad.
Exactly. Cool. All righty. Splendid. AJ, who are you, and where the hell can we find you? I hear good things about new places to find you.
You started with me?
Yeah. Well, I'm working my way back around from Sean.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. Hi. I'm AJ Winters. My name is AJ Winters. I am a professional voice actor and Dungeons and Dragons player. You can find me on Instagram at AJ Winters VO, or you can check out my new YouTube channel, Winters Tales. It's a bit hard to find at the moment, but if you subscribe, then you'll find it easier.
Yes.
I got my first episode of World Builder that came out on Sunday, and every Sunday from now on, a new episode of World Builder will come out as well. So stay tuned.
Cool. Dan, tell us who you are and where we can find you, my friend.
All right. I am Dan, and you can find me nowhere on the internet but here on Roll for Damage, playing specialized diet, yeehaw wizard man, vulture person. Aside from that, I'm D-Reb in Twitch chat. I also vibe there as shit happens between the rest of the cast, and love seeing everything. And on Roll for Damage's Discord, come hang out. That's me.
Cool. Yeah, I have just slapped up there in chat a link to AJ's YouTube channel, so you can just find it even easier. And you too could be one of the first 100 people to subscribe to it, like I was earlier today.
Oh my god, I want to do that now.
Quickly. You gotta get in there fast. Mitchell, tell us who you are and where we can find you.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mitch. You can find me on the Twitter, Mitch_Earnshaw. That is the only place you'll find me, other than, of course, on Discord as well. And this is the game that I play in. I love it. I'm playing Nevermore this evening, and looking forward to spending some more time with my father. Thank you.
And Rachel, who the hell are you, and where the hell can we find you?
Hello, my name is Rachel Foucar. I'm a creator, trash, garbage person. I have arguably too many beans in my system tonight, most of them coffee. You can find me on you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rachel Foucar, and you can also find the book that I wrote, The Rings of Mars, on the internet if you want to do that, which you should.
My bookshelf.
Or there. But don't steal Josh's copy. He's got to read that first.
No, fuck you. I'm just wondering if you wanted to find it. I have it on my bookshelf. It's great. Actually, it's in It's in Karen's bedside table because she's going to read it next. All right, and I am Josh the Pirate. You can find me here on Monday nights on Roll for Damage, where I play Humblewood, and sometimes on Wednesday nights where I run One Shot Wednesday. And I'm usually just lurking in chat and often running the thing if Serum's not. If you like my voice, but you don't think the face is a necessary part of the interaction, then you can check out There Be Dragons, where I play the infamous and deadly pirate Skern Felspar. It's a podcast, a 5e one, set in a fantasy gunpowder setting. You can get it where you get most good podcasts. So great. Now, I must remind our wanton, lascivious, and possibly even explicit audience to please like, follow, and subscribe, all the things. We have all the socials. You can catch up on episodes you missed on YouTube. It's also worthy to note the Spellfire bar at the bottom, which is getting dangerously close to 70%. When it fills up, which it does with any donations, bits, subs you give us, which is super lovely and very much appreciated, when it gets full, weird shit happens. We normally roll on the deck of many's Harrow deck, or the deck of many things, that's the thing. And stuff happens. And it can be good, can be bad. Sometimes people go all spiky and metally. Some people get stupid. I don't know. All the stuff happens. Okay. Well, I think it would be jolly for someone to stop and just look off into the void for a few moments and go on then, Jude. Yeah. No fighting.
Yes, your
from
turn,
us.
Jude. No fighting. You've got this, Jude. Have faith.
Jude's turn cannot be avoided.
I believe in you, Jude.
What
Just
did we
hard
do?
believes.
We were at this school,
Yeah.
Good
and
start.
Nevermore's dad was there,
Mm-hmm.
and
He helped us kill that big, gross skeleton thing that he made.
oh yeah.
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 Oh, and then we went to the principal's office, and
Yes.
I went to go to my brother, who is not dead. That is good.
But his
And-
black stomach's bald now or something.
Oh, and then we were charged with Nevermore's dead. We are his, police now.
Correct.
And then we had dinner, and we had plans, and talked about plans, and talked about lovemaking. And then we went on a trip through the forests back to the camp.
Yeah.
Where there were a lot of children with no food, so I gave my muffins away, but I did not have enough muffins. Oh, and then we had a big cauldron with another head woman, and I drank something and had a new vision. Lots of fighting. 2 birds fighting, that's what it was. A firebird and an ice bird. And then the ice bird got hurt, and the firebird tried to eat me, and it spoke with Helvig's voice. And there was like a prophecy. I don't remember.
Do you want me to say the prophecy that Susan mentioned?
Yeah.
Yes. Bear with me one moment while I consult my brain. He says as he scrolls, "The Borealis is trapped behind a door of cinders, to which only the tenders have the key. To find it, we must acquire some Skyleaf vine. And you would remember the vine was wrapped around a staff in your vision."
The one I used to defend myself.
Correct. Found in taller trees to the northeast in the Humblewood, the Skyleaf. She suggested that first we go see the tenders, and then we go get some Skyleaf.
Yeah. Oh, and then we talked about Helvig's soul. And then everything goes white hot because I think I got angry.
No, that literally just happened.
Oh,
Yes, Susan. Hi. Hello.
Why did you all do that?
They did this thing.
Lads, what did they...
Did you ever do that, Father and Susan? Like, sometimes you just kind of stop and recount what's happened.
really bad memory, so it helps sometimes.
Normally only after a night of heavy drinking, not normally just halfway through a conversation.
Ah, yes, probably
Right.
inappropriate timing. We'll remember that for next time.
You were
Well,
saying something about Helvig's soul?
I was. I just need to say one more thing.
Yes.
Well, mateys, may your party never lack for wizards, and all your questions about reproduction be answered with a heartfelt letter, as we head tremulously at first, and then with mounting heat and passion into the Humblewood. Sorry. So, yes, I hope not. You're welcome, Mitch. I think...
Oh,
I really hope that his soul hasn't been eaten, but it could have been.
no.
Well, I hope not.
Well, I mean, you've been incredibly helpful, Susan. Thank you. Father, you were right to bring us here. Do you have any words of wisdom for us before we go?
Always dry between your toes. Well, you get fungal infections if you don't. It's just always
What
dry
about
between
if
your
your
toes.
toes are joined like webbing?
Or then, especially then,
Oh,
just dab in between. Just make sure you get in there nice and deep. Never eat hallucinogens on a Tuesday.
Thank you, Susan.
Were you looking more
It's
specific?
been incredibly helpful.
In my
I am.
experience, Tuesday is always the worst day to have hallucinogens.
The best day to have hallucinogens, Susan.
A
Why is your
Thursday.
dad nodding?
Thursday. Okay.
What happened in their party on
Father,
Tuesday?
have you been on hallucinogens before?
We weren't always old.
It's true.
Sure thing,
True,
Susan.
Susan.
Of course, sure.
And Susan also says, and you look around, and Nevermore, you're familiar enough with pharmacopoeia that there's like 8 hallucinogens on display in her tent right now, like within arm's reach.
what is a hallucinogen?
It's a
One of the things
big
you
word.
just had.
Oh, a vision mushroom?
Yes, one of those. Or actually, yours came from a starfish.
I ate a starfish?
Well, you drank a starfish.
What? Like milking?
No. Someone needs to explain an awful lot to this child.
Oh,
Yep,
no,
not
don't
me.
remind me.
Not me.
It's a parental job. It's a family thing.
Susan, as much as I like to talk about hallucinogens,
Yes.
I noticed a lot of peasants outside, and I was wondering if there's anything that we can do to help that situation at all.
She says, she gently takes your claw in hers, her withered hand sort of wrapping around it, and says, "Don't call them that. First step. Secondly, probably what you're doing. If you're going to defeat the Scorched Grove, they're displaced. They have no place to live because their homes were burnt down or threatened to be. End this, and they can go home.
Well, we do what we can. Then.
Though if you could take some, if you could take you have a degree of notoriety. Perhaps if you went and talked to the council and said conditions in the camp are getting worse, they might listen to you. A withered, crippled old hedge doesn't have the same impact as she used to, apparently.
Yes, and now Father's here as well. I'm sure he can also chip in a little bit, right?
Of course.
Good. Thank you, Father. See, I'm helping the peasants, Trish.
Good.
I'm calling them peasants.
What do I call them then?
People,
Humble folk.
or that. But
Okay,
I would
sure.
suggest people, because we're all people.
Okay, sure. Thank you, Susan.
You're
And
welcome,
I'll
young
reach
man.
down and very gently hug Susan.
Yeah, she hugs you back. She seems to be putting as much energy into it. She's hugging you as hard as she can. It's not particularly, but it is as hard as she possibly can. There's strength in the old bones yet. And she whispers into your ear, "Take care of him."
Okay.
I know you will. And pats you on the back and steps back and sort of straightens herself up like she's not crying. Damn it. And then
Well-
she goes to hug Laz as well.
Laz has been kind of staying quiet during this conversation, just watching his son and his friends take control, but also somewhat avoiding the conversation. But as she comes up to him, he'll say to her, Still as strong as ever, Susie. Thank you for the help.
Always. You can always count on me. Griffin's an Alderheart if you want to look him up. Speaking of people you can always count on.
He'll go in for a hug as well. And just whisper in her ear, I'm sorry for what happened.
She says, I know. You shouldn't blame yourself, though. It's not. I went with you because I wanted to.
Of course.
I'm not an idiot. I knew the risks. We all did. We all did.
Well, I suppose this lot knows the risks as well.
At least as well, I think.
Hopefully more.
You notice how they're dealing with it differently.
Smarter. Smarter for sure. Careful.
But also they're sticking together.
I suppose we did all flutter away. But I suppose there's a chance to make it right. We've still got.
It is. She steps back from you, and then she goes to Jude and gives Jude a hug as well. She says, But it does it in a not in presumption. She's not presuming. It's a like holds her hand. Not she doesn't take the hand, but she's like she goes to. It was lovely to meet you, and yeah.
It was
And
nice to meet you too, Susan.
you take care of those silly boys for me, would you?
Yeah.
And yeah, she looks at Trish, who's been a little bit standoffish. She's been a little bit withdrawn throughout this, and says, "You're getting the vibe, Trish, that if you want a hug, she's offering one, but she's not. She's not sort of making any moves to it, and she just gives you a look, like, you've got this, right?"
I put out my hand for a firm handshake.
I'm going to assume you put out the hand that's appropriate to not shake the. It's her right hand that's withered.
I give her my left then.
Yeah, I'm assuming that you did that. Like you didn't. Yeah. You put out the left. She shakes your left, she says, and grips it firmly and says, "Take care."
You too.
And then she looks at Benneck and says, "Another wizard, right?"
But really, is it that obvious? I don't even have the like robe on fully, but yeah.
The
He just
book
kinda, like,
stands out.
He covers it playfully.
He says, "Yeah." She's like, "It's good to know you."
You as well. You must have done quite a lot in your time.
I've been around. Oh, that reminds me. If you're going if you go where you're planning to go, you're going to need these. And she goes into a chest and pulls out 5 potions of greater healing.
Are you
Damn.
And gives one to each, offers one to each of you.
You.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do these still taste as awful as they used to?
I added honey.
Oh, thank you.
How kind.
Shouldn't have made any difference.
Greater healing.
Potion greater healing. Let me add that to my inventory.
Mhm.
Thank you, Susan. We won't take any more of your time.
Susan,
And
Yes.
how do you make starfish liquid form?
You boil it down. You pop it in the
Okay.
water and then you heat it for an extended period of time.
Oh, okay.
you had to ask, didn't you?
Yeah. I wanted to know.
I normally chop it up quite small first. It speeds it all up.
Yeah, the increased surface area.
Yes, exactly.
And that's inside you now, Jude. And
Oh,
now
actually-
we should probably leave.
Yeah, why
She
you put it
takes
like
Jude's
that?
hand and says, "It was dead first."
Oh,
Well, it was probably alive at one point, but then it was dead.
Yes, but I didn't kill it myself.
okay.
Look, I'll
guess
explain
we can
veganism
see
to you on the road.
Jude has had nothing but muffins.
Some of them had
Like
some of them
3
had
weeks.
bacon. Some of them had streaky back bug bacon in them.
Well, that's not a healthy diet.
Is
What-
that true?
What's
Have you
muffins?
eaten nothing but muffins for the entire last 3 weeks?
My goodness, Nevermore, you need to see she gets a more varied diet.
I mean, good luck. Have you tried muffins
Yeah,
this and
Nevermore.
muffins that? Oh,
I'm
yeah.
actually feeding her better, Nevermore.
It's not my job.
Well, one of you
Jude's
should.
a grown woman.
I am a grown woman.
Yes, but
Yeah,
you're not eating
Trish.
properly.
How do you know? Your beans can live off muffins.
All right. Let us depart and head to Alderheart.
Susan has the distinctive, it gives off the vibe of, well, I'm not winning this argument. And says, well, off you go then. Have a nice adventure. Say hi to Griffin for me as you head out. Cool. You presumably head to Alderheart.
Avoiding the peasants on the way, yes.
Yeah, look, best of luck with that. But once you get outside of the camp, it's not that difficult. Alderheart is maybe a half-hour trudge from where you are. It's mid-afternoon. So, yeah, you'll get there sort of, late afternoon, early evening.
What happened to... Sorry, 1 second.
No, you
what happened to Susan, Father? She was a little bit more charred than I remember her. I didn't want to ask her. It seemed rude. And I'm not a rude person.
Even Lazarus is like...
Just kind of side-eye the others to see if I got a reaction.
You get like a cough from Benneck.
Well, as I said, this is what you've caught me doing is not my first endeavors into solving this problem, and well, Griffin and old Susie and were helping me initially. It's when we accidentally spread the fire, or I accidentally spread the fire, they were with me, and Susie was hurt. It's good to see that she's strong still, though.
She does seem quite resilient. Always did, whenever I remember her. Yeah, I guess we just keep walking to Alderheart.
Sure. You get to Alderheart. You find the city bustling, packed with people, even more so than it was your last time here. Some have the look of refugees, but the business of the city goes on. The markets are full and boisterous with trade.
Where can I buy some chicken tenders? Where can we find the tenders? Do they have a kind of like a...
They do. You would be aware
headquarters?
of where the tender halls are. In fact, they are... It's fairly convenient to get go to the tender halls because they are at the lower end, the lower part of the trunk of Alderheart. It's a more humble place, situated near the bottom, and though also quite near the core of the tree. The place has been used by them for ages. The floor's worn smooth by centuries of feet, and while certainly not fancy, much of the wood has the luster of age and care. The place is calm, cool, and serene. Several of the smaller rooms, which you think would normally be used for offices or training, contain instead groups of humble folk, sitting, resting, and talking quietly among themselves. Havel is there. You would get there, knock on the door, find it not in any way locked or barred. In fact, it's partially open. But there are very few other tenders. It's him and like 3 other assistants. He's in the midst of talking with a group of humble folk, all of whom are... He's checking bandages. He's sort of changing the wrappings and things. These people have all suffered injuries, and he is fixing them up.
Do you mind taking the lead on this one, Trish?
Sure. Do you need a hand with that? I got good at bandages at some point.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, sure.
Good to see you guys. How are you?
Not bad.
How was the avium? I think that didn't I hear that's where you were going? And he hands Trish some bandages and says, "Would you see to Sally over there?"
The avium was uniquely frustrating. But we got what we needed eventually.
I
remember that from my time there.
It was in the normal way. We got attacked by skeletons a lot.
Oh, that's different.
Hmm.
You guys
Yes.
are all right, though? He actually stops and checks you out, make sure you're... Is this a... Holy shit. Lazarus? It's an honor, sir. A real honor. Real pleasure. That's amazing. Wow.
Pleasure's mine.
Wow.
It's my father.
Yeah, no.
And this here is our new companion, Benneck. Benneck, this is
Hey.
Havel.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
I'm
you.
Havel. My name's Havel of the Autumn Moon. I'm technically the currently senior tender in Alderheart. Yay.
Congratulations, or
No,
not really?
Look, I do what I can, you know.
Mr. Moon, sir?
Havel, please.
Havel? Have you found any signs of your partner?
No. No, Tever hasn't come back. Given what? I think it was Nevermore. Wasn't it Nevermore or was it Trish?
Both Nevermore and Trish.
Yeah. Given
Yeah.
what you guys told me, I'm not expecting to see him again. I almost, you know, every now and again you're in a big crowd and you think you see somebody you recognize just for a snap second. But no, I haven't seen him. I don't expect to. But thanks for asking.
I always thought I would see Mama again, but I thought she was dead, and now I know that she's alive, so maybe I did see her?
Oh, I hope you do.
Me too.
But I think Tevor's dead.
Okay.
We have some business.
Yeah. He finishes off with the older gentleman that he's fixing up, and says, "There you are. I'll be back in 12 hours or so. Have another one. Come with me. Come in. Yeah. Let's go to my office. It's a little less crowded." And he shows you into. It's cramped but tidy. All wood. Most of it literally just carved out of the Alderheart tree. He gestures you to some chairs that are nothing fancy, no cushion or anything, just there are some chairs. And he sits on an identical one behind his desk and says, "So what can anything I can do to help the defenders of Alderheart?"
Havel, we're going back out there. We got some new information that we think will help us take care of the Scorched Grove for good.
Cool. Great.
We're looking for something called Skyleaf vine, and we're wondering if you could help us find that.
Oh, sure. There's a copse of it about 5 hours walk from the edge of the grove.
Okay.
Well, several copses really, but yeah, easy enough to find. It's an interesting plant, actually. They sort of grow on other trees and plants. It's sort of parasitic, but it's more, parasite's not the right word, symbiotic. So that it does good things for the tree. It sort of, it grows in, you know, where branches separate and they've got the little sort of a divot in there that stuff gathers in. That's where it roots. But consistent moisture in that area can be bad for the tree. It can rot. The Skyleaf vine actually absorbs the moisture in that so that it doesn't, and and it uses the tree as a sort of perch for itself. It's sort of mutually beneficial. And quite a pretty leaf as well, quite pretty vines, gorgeous flowers in the winter.
This might sound like a silly question, but am I going to die spontaneously if I touch it? Is there anything I need to know about this plant?
No.
Good.
It doesn't, I don't think, have any magical properties at all. Well, it always blooms regardless of season. It doesn't care. But I don't know if that's magic. I doubt it.
Well, as long as my skin's not going to peel off when I touch it, that's what I need to know. Do you think you
No.
can show us on a map where we can find it?
Sure. And he gets out a map of the. In fact, there would be one pinned to the wall, showing various locations of tender camps. And you notice, Trish, even a cursory examination, anybody who cares to look, that all the tenders have been deployed in a sort of a broad ring around where the Scorched Grove theoretically used to be, but is now grown quite a bit. And there's just the gaps between the groups are quite wide. There are not enough people, which is why there are so few in Alderheart. And he points it out and he says, you'd actually be plugging a hole there. There's, I'm afraid, no backup, but, well, tenders aren't warriors normally.
Right.
Yeah, that's where I'd find it. That'd be the best shot there.
Okay.
What was the other thing we needed, Trish?
Good question. Nevermore?
Borealis. Does that name ring a bell to you at all, Havel? Borealis.
Yeah, it does.
Apparently you potentially might know the location of it.
Have it locked up or something?
Behind a door of cinders.
No. I've heard of it, but I don't know where it is. Who told you that?
I had the vision.
Oh, cool.
The Fender stuff. I still don't get it.
Yeah, when you're older. He said, no, the story of the Borealis, and he sort of leans back in his chair, tells of a wizard who stole a piece of like a powerful spirit of winter. They thought they could control its icy power by containing it within a staff. But instead, it froze them. Left to itself, then the newly made artifact just kept freezing the land around it. The tales say that the old tenders felt this imbalance in the world. And so they went and found the Borealis, and they had it sealed away using a sprig of Skyleaf, which remains hardy even through the winter. Huh. That kind of makes sense. All right. I didn't place much stock in the tale myself. It's ancient, and I only came across it by accident. I'm a studious guy normally. I'm a teacher, but when I first read it, I thought it was a parable, just warning of meddling with elemental forces. Because, well, all of the world, all of life is a balance. You got to keep that in balance. If you try and find something too big, too powerful, you'll just throw it all out of whack. But you guys, you think it's real?
Yes, and question.
Mm.
Was there another power that was the opposite?
Well, almost certainly the Scorched Grove would qualify as an opposite power.
But like an energy.
Yeah, that.
Was it like part of the story of the tale, or like?
Oh. No, it was the wizard found it.
Oh.
No
Okay.
story about how it came to be there. Because most of the time something like that would come from the plane of ice. But it was already here. And they bound it. Probably a conjuration of some sort.
And you don't know where that is.
I don't, but I can check the records.
Right, yeah.
That'd be very helpful. Thank you.
More reading.
Well, not
for
for
you.
us, Jude. Not for us.
I'll have a look. Yeah, see
Please
what I
do,
can
because
do.
it's really, it could be the key to dealing with this entire situation.
Yeah, right.
So utmost importance and all that. Sorry.
Yeah. Look, I'll get onto it right away. I'll let you know as soon as I know anything. Where can I find you?
Or
I
they get
think,
like an inn.
well, I think we'll probably stay the evening at what was the name of the inn that we stayed at with
The normal one is the Blade and Talon.
the Blade and Talon. And what was
That's
the lady's
Fancy's
name?
place?
Fancy.
Yeah.
I was thinking her name was Lady, but no, Fancy. Yeah, the Blade and Talon. That's
Have
where
you already
you will
booked it?
find us.
Have you already booked rooms?
Oh no, that's
No,
concerning.
is that an issue?
Yeah, that city's full. That's why there's so many. There's refugee camps. You might get lucky. I don't know. I mean, you are the defenders. Some of the more ritzy places have kept spots open.
I'm sure they'll be able to house us for the evening up at the freaking main place. God, why do I forget the name of it? At the top of the tree.
We don't
Yeah.
need any fancy rooms, just a bit of shade. We can rough it for one night, right? Nevermore and Lazarus?
Nope.
You guys like
We're
roughing it?
going to nope.
I mean, you guys sleep out on the road like all the
Like
time.
all the time.
I love the great outdoors.
Nope.
Yeah, like me too. Honestly.
Let's go sleep with the peasants back out in the refugee camp.
Nothing
Trish.
like falling asleep with the stars above me.
How about we meet you here tomorrow
Oh,
in the
sure.
morning?
Okay.
Is that okay?
Oh well, if I found anything, but if I find
Yeah, it's
anything
like
sooner,
tomorrow.
presumably you'd want to know.
Council chambers. Maybe send word to the council chambers.
All right,
Oh,
and
yeah,
they
we
can
need to
they can
stop by
send
that.
people looking for you. All right, sure.
That's what I was thinking of. That I'd forgotten the name of.
The council chambers. All right, yeah, no worries. Okay. Well, I'll get on it. Yeah, glad I can help. Really glad I can help. Actually. Yeah.
Thank
We
you.
Cool.
appreciate it.
Yeah, he stands up and begins to. He says, "If you can, doors there."
Yeah.
And he walks up a staircase and starts bustling around, sort of like opening doors. You hear him leaving.
Father, do you want to try and find Griffin?
Yes, I do think I'd like to see an old friend again.
We probably should all stick together.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
all know Riffin.
So, any idea where he might be, or do you mind if we stop off at the council chambers first?
Lazarus, he would probably be at the Hung, Drawn, and Quartered. Like if he's going to be anywhere, that's his favorite pub. So if you were going to look for Riffin, that's where you'd start.
Is that
Probably
a
in.
stripper bar? That sounds like a stripper bar.
No, it's a pub. They don't have strip clubs in Alderheart. Very, very cultured place. They have spas.
That are
Spa
closed.
day.
That
Oh, I
are
wonder if
closed.
the spa's opened again.
Drawn and quartered. It's a stripper.
Do you think the spa might be open again? Spa day. Anyway,
Or is so excited about
council
spa day.
chambers first, and then we'll
Get to
go
be
and
there,
see if we can
Benneck.
find Griffin.
Okay.
You really did. It was great.
It was great.
Cool. All right. Yeah, you go up to the council chambers. You do that, and
Father.
the council would be prepared to see you.
Father, we might need your assistance when it comes to getting help for the people in the refugee camp. They're probably going to listen to you a little bit more than even us. given everything that you've done for the Humblewood. And I think they should probably get a little bit of help.
I will offer whatever aid I can to you. I think, from what it seems, a lot of you have done more for the Alderheart recently, but yeah, I will put my weight behind that.
Thank you, Father.
With all due respect, Ebonhearts, there's a difference between listening and them doing.
Yeah.
What do you mean, Benneck? Sorry?
Like they can just, hear the words leave your mouth, but actually not do anything about it or say, oh, our hands are tied or something. Like, I'm certain it's more complicated than that, but
Well, you
if
can
they would
always
have done it,
I mean,
they would have done it
at
by
least
now.
we can try. I mean, the alternative is doing nothing at all, which, I mean, I guess we could do.
No, we could not.
Could we, though?
No, we could not.
I know. I was just joking, Trish. I know.
Good.
We'll help.
Cool.
We'll help the people. We'll help the people.
Good.
People.
Okay.
Oh,
You head up to
figures.
the council chambers. It's
Pulled a jaw muscle.
getting to the sort of evening now, but you'd probably catch them just as they're sort of closing up. But where previously you would have struggled to get in after hours, the guard's like, "Oh, I heard you were here. Yeah, I'll get them." You probably
Shut up,
want to talk to
Phil.
the council. It's not Phil. You're never meeting Phil again. You're not allowed Phil anymore. Phil is
Fuck
mine,
you,
not
Phil.
yours.
No.
Go do
You
your
can't
damn
have
job.
him. You can't have him. He's out being a hero. He's off on such a good adventure you don't even know.
Damn.
Bill.
He's leveling up right
He's cleaning the latrines. We all know it.
now. Yeah. So a not Strag, not named Garp, goes in and gets you, and then comes in and is like, quick, yeah, there, and shows you actually not to the main council chamber, which would be still sort of semi full of people, but to one of the side chambers you've been in before, briefing room, and council member Beta and two of the others, Mentax and what's the other one? Mentax and the raptor lady whose name escapes me right now. They are
Let
there.
me see if I can find it in my notes.
Yeah, it's somewhere in my 50,000 words of notes. No, can't remember. Yeah. Oh, you're back. Marvelous. And with assistance, Lazarus, good to see you again. The council lady, Beta, the speaker for the council, says. And there's an older Strig with her called Mentax. Lazarus, you've known Mentax of old as well. And he's good. And finally some experience on the team as well. Good to see. Splendid. And I don't believe we've been introduced. And he says to Benneck and puts his hand out for a shake.
Yeah, shake it.
He's an older chap, but still there's some good strength in his grip. And
we're here. We're kind of here for. Well, I mean, we'll give you an update on what we've learned. Well,
Marvelous.
to a degree. We have a lead, and interestingly enough, that lead has come from somebody who's outside of Alderheart right now, surrounded by mud and filth. And this individual has provided us with some wisdom and a lead that will lead us towards, we are hoping, dealing with the Scorched Grove. I couldn't help but notice the aforementioned filth and mud that the people of the humble folk out there were forced to live in, and the fact that they were looking somewhat malnourished. Jude tried to do her best in providing sustenance for them, but we were kind of hoping that potentially there's some stores here, some stores of food or something that you'd be able to provide those people outside, since they don't have the tree as protection.
Yeah. So the raptor woman is Beta nods and yeah, is very generally very sort of respectful of it, and so yeah, absolutely, and so good, splendid. What we shall get back to that. What is the lead? What I will come back to everything else you've mentioned, but what is the lead you're talking about?
Insight check. See if there is any intent to come
Feel
back
free.
to that, or
Yeah.
or whether or not it's just being brushed aside.
I'll
Yeah,
do
sure.
the same.
12. It's one of my better insight rolls, to be fair.
5.
Yeah.
5. Yeah, she does seem to be on the level. It's like she's focused on solving the larger problem. I think is the trick.
We're looking for an item. We've already begun investigations, spoken to Havel of the Tenders about it. They're currently researching the location of it, but we may have found an item that could potentially, I don't know, what would you call it? Subdue it, bring it back under control. The Scorched Grove.
I did.
Fight it, yes.
Excellent. Yes, very good. That sounds exactly like what is needed. It was splendid. Named? What does it? Does this thing have a name? Mentax is scholarly-looking man, and probably
Okay.
Yeah, he's
It's called the Borealis. Does that ring a bell at all?
Yes, from the legends. Yes. Well, you think it's real? Do you?
I'd go so far as to say definitely real.
Well, splendid. Yes, if the creature, if the thing, if the weapon of old is indeed an actual artifact, yes, it should indeed be able to assist Beta. That sounds bang on. Well, look, you say you don't know where it is, but the tenders think they do.
Correct. And if you can lend any help or assistance at all, that would be
Yes.
beneficial. Faster we find it, the better.
Well, the Grand Library of Alderheart may well contain some information on this. I shall instruct the chief librarian to begin searching straight away.
Hopefully the books have all their pages.
Was this an issue?
It has been in the past. Look across, side-eye my father.
Mentax says, well, Beta, if you'll excuse me. And she says, please, Master Mentax.
Thank you, Mentax.
Mentax leaves. Larimar was the name of the raptor. And Larimar says, regarding what else you've been talking about, the conditions in the refugee camps. There is stores, of course. It really depends on how quickly you plan to solve this. The city can feed all the people in the refugee camps and the city itself for about 3 months. Or less, if we feed everyone better.
Well, I'd scrap the whole better feeding everyone part. I think people just need to eat and not eat incredibly well at this point in time. But Everybody
would-
does deserve food.
So, and she goes, so you agree then that the amount of rations that the people in the refugee camps are getting is the appropriate amount? We're not feeding them, young man. They are receiving rations, and they never said they weren't. And this is Josh. There was never any. They are being fed. They're just
It's
not
just
being fed
less.
amazingly.
Yeah.
I thought they were starving.
They are slowly starving
Yes.
because they are being given just enough, or not
They're
quite
like-
enough.
They're like under
Oh, what are they
minimum.
bloody complaining about then? I
But you
was led to believe that they were starving out there, but if they're being provided with adequate rations to survive, and this situation is ongoing and there is no end, it seems like you're doing quite a good job.
Something I couldn't help but notice when I was in there. I don't think I saw a single bird folk among the people in that camp. Would that be a coincidence? I hope so.
This is Josh thinking. How would, because you're
Call
going to
them
get
out for their racism.
two distinctly different reactions there. Beta would say, well, I imagine some have friends, family that they're staying with, some humble folk. Some bird folk have some friends, family they're staying within the city. Alderheart is about 65-70% bird folk as a population breakdown. And Larimar, on the other hand, says, well, you're talking about refugees from up near the Scorched Grove as well, where mostly people were humble folk.
Mostly, but not 100%.
Larimar,
Yeah.
I think Larimar will say, Beta, if you've got nothing else, I'll go and make certain all those lovely people down in the refugee camps are being fed properly. And she gets up and storms out.
Insight. Oh.
You can incite her if you like.
I'm inciting it. Yes, I am.
Before Larimar is the one storming out, right?
Yeah.
Before Larimar completely storms out, Laz would also step forward with this, and he'll put a hand on Nevermore's shoulder and whisper to him, Rule 64, be kind to those who have your back. And he'll shout after Larimar, and you should also see, too, your builders go out there for their dwellings. Keep them safe. Keep them well fed. Keep them protected. But if we're not successful, starvation will be the least of their worries. So feed them well.
You don't get a response, but she definitely heard you. Trish, 14, you would think she is a racist. She doesn't think that. Basically, it's not as simple as just saying she's a racist. She believes that the bird folk have worked harder and deserve more. It's the way she thinks. Jude, on top of that, it's not Jude with an 18. It's not just that she believes that, it's that she's never had that challenged. It's not a conscious belief. It's not something she's decided upon from evidence around her. It's something that's so ingrained in her, she's never really questioned it before. And now people are questioning it to her, and she is being forced to approach her own beliefs. And it is being very, very uncomfortable for her to realize how not okay what she's doing and saying it. Beta says, all will be done that can be done. The council doesn't choose who goes where. But the Wildwood Brigade will be notified of this. I won't put it in the Perch Guard. I will give it to the Wildwood Brigade. Is that satisfy?
Thank you, Peter. We know that with everything going on right now, you've all got an awful lot on your plate.
Racial tensions are not a great thing to add at a time such as this, but it's never a good time to talk about it. Doesn't necessarily mean we shouldn't. I should tell you, I have spoken to the Dean, Lazarus. The rest of the council is not aware of your indiscretion, but I am. The current situation is an excellent solution. I want to trust you. I don't believe you're a bad man. I do believe, however, you were extremely misguided. But if you're with these fine people, and I'm sorry, I don't know you.
Benneck.
Yes. I was just like, it's fine.
The dean has vouched for you. I assume he is you are a very capable individual, and if you are a graduate of the Avian, one can only assume.
Oh, shucks.
But yes, let us say the best we could, a rapid and positive solution to this situation would be the best solution all round. Larimar is uncomfortably misguided. She is, however, also an elected official of Alderheart, unfortunately. I don't have the power to relieve her of anything, nor do I believe she even should be. She is good at what she does. Her politics are her own. And unfortunately, she's elected by a good portion of the population of Alderheart who share them. But what can be done will be done. And her point of how long do you want us to feed them for is a valid one. Alderheart, we have lost, in the loss of Ashbarrow and all the land surrounding the Scorched Grove, the wood has lost a good portion of its most fertile land. So we're currently feeding people off stock that we have, but currently the wood is feeding all of the wood, or most of the wood, with 2/3 of the wood, if you take my meaning. Can't persist indefinitely, I'm afraid. So you want those people fed, and so do I. Of course I do. We're not monsters.
We'll do our best to deal with this as soon as possible.
I appreciate
the sooner
that.
we have that information, the sooner we can get back out there and fire and death and all that.
Yes.
Is there any chance that we might take quarters here this evening?
I believe Fancilla has kept 2 rooms spare for you.
Oh, wonderful.
When the dean sent it to me, I said I calculated when you would arrive. Fortunately, correctly, she has kept a couple of rooms open for you for this evening.
Wonderful. Well, thank
thanks.
you. We'll head to the Blade and Talon then. And
You will
sleep.
be unfortunately obliged to share, but there are 2 rooms.
Mind.
Very well. Splendid. Thank you for all of your efforts. And
Thank you,
yes,
Peter.
and she looks at Lazarus and says, "It is good to see you again, old friend."
As well.
She's been in her position for several years. Probably she was elected to her position, or at least to the council. She wasn't the speaker for the council when you were active, Lazarus, but she was on the council. She's been on the council for a while. So you are aware of her in roundabout this position. Lazarus, you would also know that your old haunt, the place that you would favor staying at the while in Alderheart was a very fancy inn called the Golden Horn. It's up in the branches, like relatively close to where you currently are. It's actually within sight of the council chambers. It's like the Hilton basically. It's 10 gold pieces a night. Like it's a fairly fancy place. Yeah. Cool.
So everybody saw what my father did in there, right? You know, he didn't have to say anything, but he did.
I did see that, yes, and I appreciate it.
Thank you for appreciating it.
Cool.
Again, with all due respect, it's kind of my job to not trust your dad.
Well, I mean,
you're doing
sure.
a splendid job of that.
I hate you.
Oh.
Amazing.
So we're going to go find Griffin, and then we're going to, I guess, bed down and wait until we get a bit of information.
Sure.
What else is there to do?
Okay.
Plan.
Yeah. You head to, I presume you go to the last place you'd expect, the first place you'd expect to find
Hung,
Griffin.
drawn, and quartered.
The hung,
Yes,
drawn, and quartered.
sir.
Alrighty.
That does sound like, I'm hearing that again. That does sound like, never mind, let's just keep going.
It's
I'm hearing it
definitely
also.
not. Yeah, I know what you mean. Stop it, you're spoiling it for me now. Tempted to rename it right now. I even have I've got other names. The Hairy Lemon. No,
That's
that's even worse.
That's
Better, not
worse.
much better.
So I there's another one on the list. The Elusive Camel. The Devil's Punch Bowl.
The slutty citrus.
Yeah. I did dead set type great names for pubs into Google, and they are all
Good God.
could easily be.
Stripping
Could,
it.
yeah.
Just go
Devil's
back to
Punch
hung,
Bowl
drawn,
is
and
good.
quartered, and we'll
Yeah.
make it
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
The
It's fine.
three-legged mare, which is also the not wonky donkey. Yeah, look.
Wonky donkey.
Cool.
You're
You go to
welcome.
the hung, drawn, and quartered. That isn't a strip club.
It's totally a strip club.
And yeah, you find it's not particularly busy. Actually, it's relatively calm and peaceful in there. There's a single there's somebody up on the stage. There's a gallus playing a pipe up on the stage. There is a strig behind the bar. He's clearly serving, and he looks not dissimilar to Griffin. And there is a strig sitting at the bar with his back to the door. I'm just ignoring you all now.
Everyone breathe. Everyone take a deep breath.
You okay there, AJ? No. Right. Goddamn all of you.
Keep reading the flavor text, Josh.
Yep. He's deep in his cups. He's not deep in his cups. He's holding a large tankard, drinking, and yeah. Otherwise, there's half a dozen other people in there, all just sort of minding their own business.
We'll let you reunite with Griffin. We'll be over here. We'll go sit off to the side, I guess. Take a table.
Sure.
Let Father talk to Griffin.
Okay, you do that.
The whole time I'm at the table, but I'm still like looking at Lazarus for some stuff. Shit.
You're maybe
Oh, yeah.
20 feet away. You're not far.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. As Laz walks over to Griffin before sitting down next to him, he would look over at Benneck and give him a quick wink.
Sure.
But it's just
And-
like it's just like one of the
Feather, yeah. But Laz would just do the awkward thing you do to anyone you haven't seen in a little bit, and just sit right next to them, to Griffin, and drop a
hand on the shoulder and just say, buy your next drink.
Laz? Laz!
Riff.
There you are, lad. How are you? Oh, it's
Been
good to see
better.
you.
How have you?
Yeah. Same. Yeah.
It's common these days.
I saw your son. It's grown up, man.
He's a big one now. You kind of, I'll point over my shoulder to where.
Oh, you found him. Which one of you found the other?
Hard to say, really, I suppose. But no, he found me. He found me. He saw right through me immediately.
Apparently, yeah, the kids can do that, can't they? Lad, Trillo, and the barman comes over and plonks another tankard down in front of you without even asking. You know that this Trillo is Riffin's cousin, and that's why Riffin's here. He owns the bar. He's like, drink with me, God. It's good to see you, lad. Yeah, Susan's outside. She's in one of the refugee camps.
That's where I've come from. We visited Susie.
Ah, good. She's looking well.
Still strong.
You know, still strong. She was always a strong one.
Yes.
Aye. So what are you up to now?
What I've always been up to. Trying to save the grove.
Aye. Oh, good.
Wood.
You teamed up with this lot then? When we head off?
I don't think you're coming with us, Riff. Or Riff.
Why not? Why not?
You've done your duty.
So have you,
Drink.
Laz. If you're in it, I'm in it. Wherever you go, I go too. You do it, I just do it a little slower.
A lot slower, Riff.
Fast on my feet, not fast in my head. That's what I do. I don't need this from you. Why did you leave, Laz? I don't want to be mean. You pulled me out of Ash Barrow. You saved my life. Why you brought me here and then you buggered off? Where'd you go?
Well, Riff. Hard to keep looking at your failures. I needed time.
To do what?
To figure it out. Don't trust visions anymore. And you just rush in and we did what we did and it made things worse and I couldn't let that go.
So what did you do?
I made more mistakes, funny enough. As you do, until you find the right answer.
And you see his eyes sort of narrow. Laz, why were you in Ash Barrow? Just when the fires came.
Like I said, I've made many mistakes, and I've rushed in too much, and I needed time away to figure that out.
Laz, you didn't have anything to do with that, did you? Laz, tell me you didn't.
I can't.
They said you held back the fires. You see his hand, just for a second, go to the well-worn sword at his hip before relaxing. If you were any other man, do you know how many people died there? Children, lass.
Was trying
went-
to protect them. I was trying. I was.
You had to do it alone, didn't you? You wouldn't take any help. It's not brave, you know. Not when there are people who can help you. You know what that is? That's cowardice, lass. Too afraid to risk losing another friend. And arrogant. Friends trust each other. And part of that is trusting that they ken what they are getting into. You blame
Somebody
yourself.
else would have gotten it wrong. Somebody else would have gotten it wrong.
You got it wrong.
Worse than I did.
Do you blame yourself for Stilgar? I don't.
Of course I do.
I don't, and it was more my fault than yours. The big bugger was too heavy. But he chose to be there. And I'm not going to dishonor his memory or his choice by claiming it was mine. We went with you, and we lost a friend. And I don't regret that, not for a second, because we were trying to make the world better. And if you'd have asked me, I'd have gone with you again. I'd have followed you anywhere. But you didn't trust me to make that choice for myself, did you? I lost a niece in Ashbarrow, lass. My sister's girl, Kayla. She's but 4. I was teaching her to glide. Sweetest sweet thing. She would never hurt a fly. Lass, I'm going to ask you to leave now. Before I do something I'm worried I won't regret.
And Laz will step away for a second. And about to put a hand on his shoulder, but he'll stop and say, "You're right, old bud. I am a narcissist. And I've made horrible choices. But I'm making it right. And if you choose to join me in that, it is your choice. I won't stop you, and I won't tell you you don't belong. Or you're too slow. No. It's your choice. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I don't blame you. And I will leave. And I will not return. But we'll be at the Blade and Talon. And Laz will walk away directly to the party.
How loud did that get?
Quiet.
Maybe he wouldn't walk directly to the party then.
We should probably follow Father.
Yeah, I think it's.
I'm already on it. I have a job to do.
Yeah, even though he knows Benneck will absolutely be on his heels, Laz would overwhelmingly run outside for air.
Yeah.
As I walk past Riffin, I'll just place a gold piece down on the bar, and don't worry, Riffin, I'll watch over him. And obviously having no real clue what happened, and then pat him on the back and walk off.
Hey, lad. See that you do. Cool. That was fun. Wow. Let's
Shake it off, Josh. Shake it off.
So that didn't go well. Dad?
No.
I mean, we don't have to go into it now. But, yeah. And I'll place my hand comfortingly on Lazarus's shoulder. Let's go to the Blade and Talon and unwind a bit. Do you all agree?
Cool. You go to the Blade and Talon.
I mean, here's a positive. They probably have mashed potatoes, since potatoes are for peasants. So there's probably plenty of those in stock as well.
Is it just me, or have you said that like peasant word a lot lately?
Yeah.
Yeah, new rule. Every time Nevermore says the word peasant, he has to buy us all around.
Oh.
Damn.
And also you have to buy the first one just for the backlog of the word peasant. I think that's fair. What do you guys think, Jude?
That's not fair.
I think it's fair.
You can't backdate the rule.
No, this is your
From
penance.
this point forward, I will no longer say that word.
Oh, you will pay.
Or the word pleb.
That one too.
Damn it!
Words beginning with P. Just steer away
damn it.
from them.
I'm going to have to get creative.
Trish,
Yeah,
can I have a word?
sure, of course.
As long as the word is plur.
I heard that you're buying drinks. Alright, I guess we go slightly to the side. What's up, Jude?
My brother Jordan, he wrote me this letter, but I cannot read, so could you read it for me?
Of course I will. Of
I'm
course
sorry,
I
Rach,
will.
I haven't gotten around to writing it yet, but if you're
Oh.
prepared to improvise the shit out of this, you can do that now.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. I'm so excited.
Well, and let's all just remember that these are Jordan Littlefoot's words and not Trish Capers.
The only note I have about it that I was going to do with it is that it's not super graphic.
Okay. Good. Okay, I'll lean on that. 'Cause Trish would have been graphic.
He's very specific, but not very graphic.
Mhm. This note says, when two people love each other as more than friends, they do things together in privacy. And that is what makes them lovers. And if these two people happen to be of the same species and opposite genders assigned at birth, then sometimes they will create babies, but not always. And you shouldn't call your friends lovers or your family lovers unless you do romantic things in privacy. And that is what your brother wrote you. Any questions?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What do they do in privacy? And how do they make babies? Is it like clay? Do they build babies? Do they bake babies?
Have you ever had
No.
a cocktail?
Oh?
Okay, great. A cocktail is what happens. When you make a cocktail, you get different liquids and you mix them together. Now these liquids, usually they'll come from like fermenting a fruit maybe. Now think of yourself as a fruit. Inside you, there is a liquid. And if you combine it with a different liquid from a different person, they combine to make a cocktail. And after the cocktail ferments for a little while, that cocktail becomes a baby. Do you understand?
So they stab each other and
No,
mix their blood?
okay. No. The juice is produced doing the romantic stuff. You do romantic things with someone you love, juice happens, it ferments, then you get a baby.
But what is the juice if it's not blood?
It's Jude.
Yes, Trish?
Mm-hmm. Do you ever think about like a really handsome Jabin? Or not a Jabin, I don't judge. Or pretty Jabin, I don't judge. Do you ever think about just someone who you really want to hug?
Yeah?
Okay. If you think about them for long enough, you know what? Homework assignment, Jude, homework assignment. But not tonight because we're sharing a room. A different night, think about the most attractive person you can conceive of. And if you think about them long enough,
Okay.
the juice will appear.
Like magic.
Yeah, like magic, kinda, yeah. It'll just happen. And then you know. And if you combine that juice with his juice, boom. But be careful with that. Be careful. Be safe. I love you.
I still don't get it, but okay.
Just do your homework assignment and come back to me if you've got more questions afterwards.
Stop yelling at me.
I'm sorry, I need a drink. I'm sorry. I'm passionate about cocktails.
I
That's
need
why
to
was
ask more people about the juice. I just...
What the fuck are they talking about over there? Trish looks flustered.
Sorry, I've never had to explain this to someone before.
It's a
Your
good
brother
old-
was not very descriptive in his letter, and he should have been. This should be my job.
And she's getting loud now.
I'm oddly concerned.
Wasn't this awkward when I told you about the birds and the bees, Nevermore?
Wait, is that what they're doing?
Seems like
Is that what they're doing?
it's an apt metaphor.
God.
I will commend her on that.
Trying to explain anything to Jude's a nightmare. But that? Good God.
But it's done now, right?
No.
I don't think so.
Jude looks awfully confused. That's not a good sign.
Maybe she just needs to process like all the complete information that Trish gave her.
Should I
No,
I don't know,
No.
make jokes at
No.
Trish's expense?
No.
no.
Not
I
that
think
either.
we should go drink.
I mean,
Okay.
I feel like it's quite brave to teach Jude the birds and the bees.
Do they collect the juice?
Well, that's the fun thing. You collect the juice. You're like the cocktail shaker in this metaphor.
Where?
In your tummy.
What is the over-under on saying vagina on stream?
Right?
Jude, just go do the homework assignment I gave you, and if you have more questions after that, I'm here. But
Okay.
please don't have more questions. I need a drink.
You go to the blatant town.
Please, they don't have to
God, you
describe
go
what
to the
eggs
blatant-
are.
There'd be olives in this scenario, I think. A baby is like a dry martini. Better shaken than stirred. Okay.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, wow. Oh, you know what? We've been going for about an hour and a half. I think that'd be a really good time to take a break and a breather.
Oh my god, thank you.
I've never seen so many players mute their microphone simultaneously so they can just bawl with laughter.
don't want to
Rachel,
interrupt whatever that
that
was.
was fantastically well done. I'm glad I didn't write it for you. That's so good.
I mean,
Well done.
look, we've already got favorite moments locked down there.
Yeah.
So
It's gonna be like first out of the gate who claims it.
Time for a cocktail break. Exactly, Ragnar. Right. Yeah. I know I'm having one. Okay, let's take a quick breaklet. We will be back in 5 to 10. Thanks so much for sticking around with us, guys. To the pip. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, welcome back to Roll for Damage and the Humblewood. Yes, we are back. We've just had a super lovely conversation and a super awkward conversation. I'll let you pick which one was which. We are going to have a night at the Blade and Talon. Fancilla is the proprietor. It doesn't really require any RP, but if you guys want to do some RP, you're welcome to. Otherwise, we can just zoop straight to the morning. She's grateful to see you. She's like, oh, hello, everyone. Welcome back, my lovely defenders. Yes, hi.
Oh, hello, Fancy. Mashed potatoes, please, for that one.
Coming right up. And muffins, I believe, is the call of the evening.
If the supplies are available, yes.
I think I can probably rustle up a few. Yes.
Also, juice?
Juice? Yes. Juice I can do. Certainly. You wouldn't like tea?
No.
Well, juice it is then, certainly. What kind of juice? Or do you fancy possibly a mocktail?
Both.
Very well. Cool. She bustles off and comes back with later on. Do you mind?
That's weird. Why would you order juice for not tea? You always order tea when you're here.
That is weird.
Sometimes people like to try different things, Nevermore. Get off her case.
That's fair.
Okay. Sure. Okay.
First time I ate vegetables, wild.
Never again, right?
Every now and again, and then you just regret.
Cool.
Yeah,
alrighty.
I guess we probably don't do anything. I would ask Jude to hop up and play the ocarina for everybody, but that's about it.
Yeah. Sure.
Regardless of what happens, I'm with Lazarus.
Yeah.
For me.
Cool.
I do have something I want to talk to Lazarus about as we probably turn in for the evening, because I imagine we're probably sharing a room.
Yeah, the three wizard boys are in one room, and the two cocktail girls are in the other.
Father, you mentioned something about a prophecy, Alderheart prophecy. Care to share a little bit of that information with me?
Of course. But before I do, though, I feel it's necessary to say these sorts of things, visions, bad dreams, prophecies, hell, even rules. They're not always the answer.
Rule 70, Father. They often mean something.
Of course. You need to tread carefully how you will make mistakes and lose those you love. Though I know you must always be ready to accept that. Prophecies often fulfill themselves when you know about them in strange ways. Prophecy is simple. It's in our family. It's been in our family for a long time. One Ebonheart would be the one to heal the grove.
And you always just assumed it would be you.
For many years. Perhaps up to recently. I still believed it somewhat. And maybe I still do.
Maybe it's Ebonheart's. Both of us.
Together.
And with the others, of course. We can't leave those plebs behind. Benneck, if you snitch on me and you tell Trish and Jude that I said plebs,
Yes. Yes. Well. But like I said, put stock in yourself and your friends, but not in prophecy. I think we rely too much on it. Too much on stories. You lose track over time. People forget about them. And a grove burns for generations when seemingly a story held the answer. I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is just be your own man.
that's what I'm trying to be. Started off trying to follow in your footsteps, but kind of realized that they're not really necessarily footsteps that I want to follow in. Not entirely, anyway. It hurts losing a friend, by the way. We had a companion prior to meeting up with you. His name was Helvig, and we lost him in the Scorched Grove. And he was brave, very brave. And he was good. He was a good hedge. But it does hurt. I'm sorry you've lost someone as well. I overheard a little bit of that Griffin talk.
I'm sorry you had to hear that. Even just watching the lot of you out there trying to explain, it's Jude. You love these people.
I do. I absolutely do. 100%. And I'll even stop calling people plebs and peasants for them if that's what they need from me.
Should. You should.
Thank you, Father. I hope you sleep well.
You as well, my son.
Yeah. And I'll let him sleep on the bed. I'll sleep on the floor.
Oh, there
Only two? That's like
are 3 mattresses, but
There's
only
3
one bed. The mattresses have been dragged in, but yeah, there's only one bed.
I'll let him have the bed. I'll sleep on the mattress.
Benneck is
Sucked in, Helvig.
I'm not complaining. I'm a far mattress. I mean, that lets me be at the same height as Lazarus.
Yeah.
I'm on to you.
All right, that's all I needed. Thank you.
Cool. Alrighty, you do that. The following morning, you guys are sort of mid-breakfast when Havel sort of barges in, basically. I found it. Sorry, and he looks like he has been up all night. He looks haggard, but he's holding a very old book. And he said, I found it.
Come over, Havel. Do you need some juice?
No, thank you. I'm good. I need coffee. And yeah, Fancy goes, coming up. Yeah. Havel, yeah, he's unraveled the mystery. Just bear with me a second.
In the meantime, while you're doing that, Josh, I
Yes.
kind of like slide over the notebook that I have to Trish, and I flip it over to the page where it says like report style how Nevermore Ebonheart said these words, and also that he loves you very much 100%.
I'll keep that in mind.
That is close it again.
Yeah.
Piece of shit. I know I don't know this, but
You do not
piece of
know
shit. I know.
Well, the clause was to get everyone around, so if I do it, I also get one. So
That's true.
He sits down at the table with you and says, so I was researching, and then I remembered a story that Tevor told me. And I just needed to look up the references in the ancient records to be sure. I found it. The resting place, the entrance anyway, to the Borealis' resting place is in the Scorched Grove, near a rock shaped like a giant frog. Apparently, it's in the south of the Scorched Grove. It's supposed to be huge, like hard to miss. But it's not the easiest thing to access. And you need the key.
What is
And
the key?
that would be Skyleaf, right?
I guess. I think so. I don't have it's part of the reason that no one's ever gotten it before. Aside from the fact that no one's ever really looked for hundreds of years, is probably that it's not the easiest thing to get a hold of. These old tenders, they didn't want this thing found. The last person who found it brought on an ice age. Like, this thing is potentially, from my readings, almost as dangerous as the Scorched Grove if you use it wrong. So we hid it for a good reason. And I got to assume it's not just sitting there. You know, there'll be other stuff. But you'll need the key. I imagine it's some sort of ensorcelment, some sort of, yeah, there'll be magic down there. I can't tell you what, I'm afraid, but there'll be definitely magic down there. And, yeah, the Skyleaf would be the key. Expect riddles. A lot of this is in verse. He holds the book up. It's like a lot of this is. It's like poetry, but bad poetry.
Do you mind if I quickly scan that while we're talking? And
You
I'm just
do.
going to. I'll hold it out for Lazarus as well to look at, since we're both Corvum. We've both got the memory thing, so we can remember the riddles.
Mhm.
Maybe me
The
a little
riddles-
bit less, given that I've
The
got
riddles
eye.
aren't in there. But
But just the way it's written and stuff like that might give us clues
sure. Yeah,
in the future.
absolutely.
Advantage.
You read-
even.
Yeah, you read the yes, mechanically you read the track to like get the same advantage from it that he has.
Yeah.
Cool. He said, but you'll need the Skyleaf first. Yeah.
And that's where we'll go.
Thanks. Great. Yeah.
Thank you, Havel. Thank you very much. Do you need some rest?
Yeah, I do. But there's no rest for the wicked.
Well, you're not wicked, so rest.
Fair. You sound, Tevor used to say that. Like I would say that, and then Tevor would say that. Yeah, I'll go rest.
Thank you.
Take care, guys. Honestly, please take care. You'll be great. I know it. And he heads out. And Fancy comes in and says, "So, good news?" She comes back with the coffee, and she's like, "Havel." And Havel comes back in, grabs it, pounds it, and then leaves.
Jude is sitting there mixing juice into a mug.
Can you share some of your juice with me? I'm a little bit thirsty, Jude. Can you share some of your juice with me?
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
Are you going to put it in your tummy?
Well, yes. Drink it. Hand it back across to you. Thank you. Delicious. We should.
It's actually a bit of an uncommon mix. Nevermore. It's you wouldn't normally mix blackcurrant and strawberry juice together. But it's not unpleasant. It's just different.
And yes, it's now in my tummy. Let's potentially go and see the council. Let them know we have a lead. Maybe Mentax found something that we need to know before we leave.
Yeah.
Oh, if we must.
I mean, you can stay here if you want and eat more potatoes. You don't have to come talk to the old people.
Nah, I like making them angry. Let's do it.
Oh, you did a damn good job last time, Trish.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
that was pretty good.
Thanks.
Very
Cool.
impressive. That was Nevermore tier work right there.
Really was.
Thank you.
You do that. You go up. Mentax actually comes out and meets you and says, "Any news? I'm afraid my researchers haven't brought any major developments. It's all rather obscure. I found a reference to requiring a certain kind of plant, but not what the plant was. It's part of a key to get into a cave, but not where the cave is, I'm afraid."
Thank you for your help, Mentax, and we appreciate you looking for it. We've got this from here. And we'll just very briefly fill him in, so that way, if we meet our demise out there, then at least somebody else has that information, and do better than yourself, and just fill him in on that.
Right. Splendid, thank you. Yes, that's yes, very good. Good. Yes, I shall update the ledgers and the research. That may. I'm curious now. We've got a dog with a bone, Cool.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah.
Farewell.
I shall.
And if you see Phil, by the way, tell him to go fuck himself. We have... Joking. I'm sorry. I'm joking.
You do that.
Yep.
And then you presumably leave to go find some Skyleaf. Cool.
Yes, we do.
You head out of the city by the northern gate and head northwest. It's about half a day's travel to where Havel pointed out on the map for you. You arrive to see a sparse, burned forest. The forests here, you've been through here before, less than a month ago, but they have very much changed. Ashes litter the branches and cover the forest floor in a thick carpet. To the north, a swath of charred trees is visible in the distance, unmistakably the work of elementals. It looks like the grove has pushed even closer to Alderheart than you'd even thought. The ashes that cover the forest floor are cool and possess none of the supernatural properties that the plains of ash of the Scorched Grove had. But their presence here is disconcerting. The forest is still, and the familiar sights and sounds of the wood are conspicuously absent.
Yeah, see if we can find any sign of Skyleaf, I suppose.
Yeah, it can
Keep
just
your
be like-
eyes peeled up in the trees, I believe.
He burned
Yep.
the trees?
Some
Probably
trees are
not.
burned, some are not. A few have a few have survived the fires, though all are scorched.
Do you want
We've
to
got
fight?
raiders.
Hooray!
Raiders
Raiders!
Kawaii.
raiding.
Oh, hey,
Bye,
kitty.
kitty. Hello, raiders. Welcome. Thank you so much for the raid. We
Yum,
are
yum.
just looking for some. We're looking for a particular kind of leaf, a skyleaf, found in the upper branches of trees in this particular neck of the wood. So our party would probably, the best thing to do would be making a nature or wisdom check, whichever you happen to be better at, to locate
Okey-doke.
skyleaf.
Nature.
Nature check or survival if you're better. 12 is not bad.
Nurture.
Not
It's
bad.
a little like mistletoe.
Oh, scheisse.
Benneck! Eagle-eyed, eagle raptor, Benneck.
Vulture-eyed, yes.
Vulture-eyed, yeah. Spots it very easily. Everybody else, yeah. I think, Benneck, you were listening a little closer when, it's probably because you're of the studious mindset most recently, when Havel was waxing lyrical about how the thing was symbiotic. You listened and knew exactly where to spot it. You find, this area is large areas of open ground interspersed with the occasional copse of trees. And you make out some, like everything else is orange or brown. There's very little green, and it's the green that you can spot. Nestled in the boughs of the trees, just in these little, almost sort of cups where two branches separate. You can spot some. It is high up in a yew tree. It would be, yeah, you have to climb up there to get it.
Alright. Hey guys, I found some.
Oh, good.
Once you point it out, everyone can see it.
I'm going. Well,
Great job. How are we going to get it? I guess is the
I
next
was
question.
gonna Start climbing.
careful.
Acrobatics or athletics? Smuggy, no, it's
No,
not.
Jude, our wings don't work like that.
I'm better
It's-
at acrobatics.
It's more of a vine. Mistletoe is a tree.
14.
14 is the DC.
Nice.
You scramble up this tree. You manage to you get fairly dirty because a lot of the lower branches particularly are sort of covered in ash and soot. But as you haul your way up there, you find more and more of it. The further up you get, the more full of the tree it seems, the more full of the vine this tree seems to be. You could only see a single sprig from the ground, but now that you're up in it, it's not magical or anything, but it seemed hidden. It's all orientated skyward. This whole thing, this thing's whole thing is catching the light of the sun. If anything, it's doing better now that there aren't other leaves getting in the way from the tree that it's living in. How much do you gather would be the real trick.
I mean, sustainable living. I wouldn't gather all of it. I'd gather the ones that look the most like mature. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So 1 plant, 2 plants, how many?
Let's say 3. That's a magic
3.
number.
3 decent-sized vines worth. Cool. Alrighty. You've got a bag. You've got a big burlap sack. You can put it all in your big hairy sack.
I'm gonna put it in my big hairy sack.
I think while Benneck climbed up there and did all the work to climb up there, Lazarus would just sort of look up as he's reaching for some of the vines and just
Not that one.
conjure a mage hand to just grab the vines for him.
I'm like unseen. I just say like, "Oi, I'm still watching you, by the way."
He is persistent.
An ass. Cool. Yeah, can you all roll me perception checks, please?
I'm still in the tree at this point.
Yeah, Benneck, you would actually... No, you wouldn't have advantage because you're doing something else.
Yep. Oh, good. No matter.
matter.
I gotta keep
Doesn't matter.
watching for Lazarus, I tell you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. So yeah, Benneck is on watch, and Jude, as the closest to the ground, notices this as well. The ground around you begins to undulate, roil and toss as a creature, Jude, that has haunted your dreams for many days rears up out of the ash at your feet and lunges at you. Roll initiative, everybody.
Fuck.
And we will move to a map.
No.
Round 2.
Oh, girls.
I didn't roll it in the turn order, but that's
Oh, shit,
my initiative is.
Can you click on your person in Roll20 and roll it again so that I can pop you in there? Benneck, 3 crits in a row there. Look at that. Amazing. Nevermore, Jude got a 21 and Trish got a 27. Actually, I will just fix those.
27. Jeepers creepers.
I'll do 7.
Keen for a fight,
Yeah.
baby.
Y'all motherfuckers are fast.
Cool. However, the only 2 who actually noticed the things were Jude and Benneck. So the rest of you will be being surprised. Jude and Benneck. So, yeah, Jude and Benneck will get to go this turn. This snake here lunges at Jude.
I draw my sword and I stab.
You do. Benneck, however, does get to go first. The other one is in the underneath your feet. Benneck.
Okay. God, I was not expecting to be this fast. I say, watch it. Ah, fuck it. I say. As I cast haste on myself,
Sure.
and with my hasted action, I will shoot.
Very well. You
So,
shoot it.
at the one that Jude is actually in front of.
Oh, sure. So the further one.
Yeah.
Cool. You make that attack, please.
Bam! 16.
You hit it. Hit it. Roll me the damage.
11
For
piercing.
11 piercing. Very nice. Cool. Yeah, doesn't like that at all. You cop it in its jaw. Jude, the one that's roaring and rearing over you, is now been shot in the face by
Jude.
Benneck.
Jude is going to stab with divine smite.
Well, you can choose to do that after you hit, but yeah, roll the thing, and then you can choose to whether or not you hit. 19 does hit.
Divine smite.
Very well. Jude, you now have 2nd level spell slots, which means you can do a 2nd level divine smite if you want to. I have put the options in your thing. You can tick one or the other.
I've clicked 2.
Well, you don't need to click both, one or the other.
No, I said level 2.
Right. 12 radiant and 6 slashing. Very well. 18 damage to the ash snake. Yep, very nice. Cool. You have an extra attack, Jude. You are level 5.
Oh yeah.
Hit it again. Attack it again.
I attack again.
You attack again. Stay a bit.
Is that also with the blade? That would be a different weapon?
No, yeah, it's the same attack. You can make 2 attack actions.
Oh, okay. 16?
Just does it.
Okay. We're clicking off the divine smite.
You're not burning 2?
No.
Yep, very well.
10.
For a further 10. Very nice, Jude.
Yeah. Sing, sing.
You carve 2 nasty chunks out of its flesh. This one, Jude, make me a nature check.
I'm not
Well-
good at those.
Well, look, that's what it is.
-1.
-1. Yeah, you don't notice shit about this. You are far too interested in killing it.
Yeah.
Jude, it's going to try and constrict you, the one that you're attacking.
No.
A 13 does not beat your AC.
No.
So
I
then
tumble over its back.
then it tries to make a bite attack at you, and it will succeed in biting you, I suspect.
Stop
For
that.
12 piercing damage.
Yes.
Tries to wrap you in its coils, and when that fails, it just bites you. And the one next to Lazarus is going to do exactly the same thing to Lazarus. It's going to constrict him. 19 to hit.
19 hits.
And then it makes so it constricts you, which means you are grappled. And constrict or crush, and then it's going to bite you as well. The constrict does 14 bludgeoning damage, and then the bite, 18,
18 will hit.
does a further 5 piercing damage. So 19 all up to Lazarus, and you are now in its clutches. And we go to the top of the order. Trish, you are not surprised anymore.
I'm gonna smack it with my sword.
The one that tried to grapple Jude.
Yes, that one.
An 11 does not hit, I'm afraid. What about
Bugger.
that fancy dagger of yours?
I'm going to offhand fancy dagger it.
Yeah, you do. There it is.
Much better.
All
Yeah.
reliable, the most deadly weapon in the West.
I get
you
sneak
can
attack
sneak
or-
attack. Yeah, Jude is next to it.
Hell yeah. Boom, damage, boom.
8 sneak. It could have been much better, but there we go. 1, 2, 5 plus 3. 11 damage to the snake from a dagger. Ain't bad at all. It's looking pretty ropey. Trish, make me a nature check if you fancy it.
I do fancy.
Uh,
16,
better.
yeah. This thing doesn't seem anywhere near as elementally empowered as the one you fought. Just as nasty looking, but significantly less actively on fire.
Oh, that's good. Guys, this is just a baby snake. I yell as I back off just a scooch.
Benneck, it's your turn.
All right. Well, I guess you did fight these before, as I cast Mage Armor on myself.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Because sometimes you gotta do some crazy shit when the person you're trying to quote unquote keep a lookout for is like being constricted.
Sure.
I gain my 13 temporary hit points for my arcane award,
Very well.
and my AC is absolutely huge now.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna does it look like a fire maul? Does it have
Yes.
the fire thingy?
Yeah. The
Okay.
image that you can see on the map is very much what you are fighting.
And I've seen it try and bite people.
Yes.
Okay, so I leave the Skyleaf burlap sack up here on the tree.
Sure. Noted.
They won't get like eaten and fired.
Good idea. Yeah.
And then I will try and make it look away from the tree by jumping down with a dagger.
Very well. Make an
With my
attack
hasted
action,
action.
and I will add some falling damage to you and it.
Hell yeah, please.
Oh no. Not so much. You
That's
miss.
alright, it happens.
I will just roll a couple of. In fact, you know what? I've got chat for a reason. Omi and Smutgeek, would you mind rolling me 2d6s, please? As in a d6 each.
Two, and Omi gets to try again after the cooldown. Yeah, you did it at the
Two.
same time.
And a 2. A 2's good, because we're working out Helvig's falling damage. Not Helvig, I do apologize.
Oh! I mean,
How good you
Benneck's-
got?
There he is. Oh, 1
There we
and a
go.
2.
Nice.
There you go. Benneck, you
Thanks,
take
gang.
3 falling damage. It's a real
My-
shame
my-
it didn't also do it to the snake, but there we go.
Yeah, my armor blocks. It's like spring, glassy springs. I'm like, oh, great.
That's what you want, glassy springs.
Glassy springs.
Great. Cool. Is that it? You done?
Yeah, that's it. That's all my
All right,
things. I don't
Jude.
move. I end up here, I guess.
Jude!
Yeah. What of it?
We'll stab.
Kill the breeze. Yeah. Make a stab attack. I'm afraid that one misses, Jude. It coils itself out of the way, sort of sidewinds its way around you a little bit as you swipe at it. It is wary of your nasty radiant blasts.
Can I do it again?
Of course you can. You have extra attack.
Stab!
Another 12. Yeah, it's like ninja snaking around you.
I will square off with the ninja snake and ninja to myself.
Very well. You parkour a little bit around it, and you just sort of yeah. Very Kung Fu Panda, this whole scene.
Just with a giant ash snake and a baby Jabin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Right, we're up to Nevermore.
Is there any chance that I could? I want to use my new spell, Fireball. I want to cast it so that it just clips the serpent, but not my father. So like when it rears its head up at all like that, I want to kind of hit above it
yeah.
and try to hit the head.
Don't get my sack.
You're not gonna get. You're only gonna get one of them. You're not gonna manage to get both and Lazarus, but you can definitely
I
get
only
the one
wanna-
that's holding Lazarus. Yeah.
I'm just trying to get the one that's holding Lazarus.
Yeah.
The rest of them
Noted.
seem to have everything
Do
under
the math,
control.
don't hit my
Um,
sack.
So,
Yeah, don't hit the sack either.
so I'll hold my hand out. I'll bring it back to my eye, and when I bring my hand back out again, it's blue, and I'll
Whoa.
shoot a frosty fireball at it. To hit it.
Frostball. Roll me that.
Using
Roll me
my
that.
source
Is it
points.
to hit?
So
Save.
it's 28
Save.
damage, unless you save a dexterity
Okay.
saving throw of 13.
I forget that
save
your
for the
intelligence
snake.
went down.
Yeah, that's already
It rolled a 3. It's sort
Beautiful.
of busy holding a large Corvan man in armor, so it's not able to ninja around in much the same way that Jude's one is. It cops a full 28 ice damage,
frosty boy damage.
frosty damage. Let me just check what it's vulnerable to. Yeah, maybe that. 28 times 2 is 56. Good. A good portion of it seems because you get its head as it's rearing up. You actually encase its head in ice, and the flames on the inside of it appear to almost gutter out, Nevermore, as the ice fades away. And its eyes, which were first burning bonfires, have now shrunk to just coals, angry little coals of fire.
Fuck yes.
Anything else?
Staying exactly where I am.
Love it.
Yep.
Very well. Lazarus, you are grappled.
Yes, so I cannot move, but I can still attack.
You can.
And seeing the significant damage done by Nevermore.
Did I see in my father's spell book if he had Misty Step?
I do.
Yeah.
I love that character.
Yeah, I would shout out, "Get out of him, Misty Step!" Would have, because I had the inside knowledge after having looked at his spell book.
Yeah.
You're backseating your dad.
Side seat.
No, I did actually. That was my first plan.
Sorry, father.
But I
what
was
you're
considering
doing.
attacking. But I think you're right. I will get out of this. I don't want to take any more constriction damage. So yeah, I'll Misty Step out.
Nevermore, if you'd like, you can also make a nature check because you've fought these things before.
Sure, thank you.
So you just boop 5 feet to the left and down.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't. Just don't want to be there. You know what? No, I'm gonna stay in. I'm gonna stay in. Do other things. I'm gonna vampiric touch it. I'm gonna vampiric touch it.
Yeah,
because that just feels better to me.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna constrict me again.
What was that hand action? NJ?
That is.
Oh, 23. That'll do. Yeah.
Hit. And
Yeah. Just about.
oh, how do I always forget. I don't use rules.
Just click on the word
click on the-
itself in the
vampiric
chat.
touch
You click on
text
the
in the roll.
So
So
just keep doing it.
in the chat
in the
itself.
chats. In the chat.
Oh,
Top,
that's
you
right.
click on
That's
that
right.
vampiric touch
I need to
bit,
write.
yeah.
I'm gonna write that.
I love how you
down
got
right now.
23 and 226s.
I know, right?
Get all of it.
Just
Okay.
wasting all of his good
Fail.
rolls. 13
Alright, so
necrotic
that is
damage.
13 necrotic damage.
Whoa. Whoa. And do you gain some of it back?
Yep, I get half of it back as health.
Nice. Regaining 6. Yeah. Wow. It hisses, and so it's holding you in its scales, in its coils. Still, you haven't noped out of there. Yeah. You feel as you Nevermore. You're looking for it, and yeah, you've noticed that the ice has done a significant amount of damage to the fire within it. That fire now gutters out completely, and the embers in its eyes fade to nothing as the thing, which is rearing up, ready to bite Lazarus's head off, just sort of collapses to the ground as Lazarus sucks the life out of it. Lazarus, you are standing amid the corpse of an ash snake.
If it's dead, then I also, through Grim Harvest, get back 3 times the spell level necromancy spell I cast, so I get 9
Ooh.
more health back. That's
Very
why I
nice.
did that, hoping it would die and I'd get all the
Yeah.
health back.
You just did it as well. You did
Flame
2
of Harvest.
hit points more than you needed.
Necromancy.
Yeah, necromancy's a bitch. It's now the other ash snake's turn, and it's gonna keep trying to nom Jude. It's gonna grab you again, Jude. No,
You
it's
can
not very.
try.
It can. It's apparently shit at that, but then it's gonna bite you again, and also shit at that. Yeah, Jude being just as dodgy as the snake itself. We go back to the top of the order. Trish.
All right, I run back towards the snake with my sword held over my head and just smack it with all of my weight behind it. Arr!
Love it.
Arr!
18 does hit.
I'd better. Wonderful.
Oh, for 20.
Oh boy.
Trish, describe how you do this.
All right, I come sprinting in and I've got my sword in both hands just over my head and I just guttural scream, ah, and smack it. Full weight.
Yeah, I would say like its neck is thick. It's thicker than your blade is long, but you take off almost all of it. You make such a good chop that it semi-severs its head to the point where the thing just sort of, it's rearing up and it just sort of snaps off. Like, you know, in the Titanic? Yeah, that.
Sick.
It sort of does that and sort of, yeah, again, collapses to the ground.
I look at
Picture.
Lazarus and give him like one of these.
So,
So
Imagine there's still like necromantic energy radiating around his
Yeah.
hand when the ashes dancing around him, and he's just sort of like,
Nice.
Oh,
That's stronger than
I
I
saw
All
thought.
I
that.
can picture is like Harry Potter's wrist in the second movie.
Oh,
That's what I imagine happened to the snake.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, gross.
Two ash snakes dead
Ooh.
in, what was it, 2 rounds?
barely.
Um,
Wow, that
Yeah, boy.
really worked. That spell really worked. Good God.
I use the remaining haste to just like wall run up the tree to get my burlap sack and then glide down.
Yeah, you do that. Splendid. Well done. You are standing in a copse of trees. You have the key to the thing. You know where it is.
Let's make our way there, I suppose, and probably swiftly, so we don't come across too many more of those.
Yeah,
Sounds good
snakes.
to me.
They did seem weaker than the one that we faced the other time.
Anybody who
They
wants
did.
to may now make a history or nature check. Sorry, except Lazarus or Benneck. Sorry, I meant the 3 because they were there.
Yeah.
It's people who've met them before, sort of thing.
Ooh.
Wow. Yeah, all 3 of you, these things aren't... They're elemental creatures, but they're not empowered by the plane of fire in the same way that the one you fought was. They also
Sorry.
fought. They also fought like animals fight.
Might have something to do with the fact we're further away from the portal. We're
This
kind of
one is
right on
not-
the edge.
This one is not evil. It's not possessed by fire demon inside, you know?
Yeah, the one that you fought before was sentient. It was aware. It was enjoying what it was doing. These were hunting,
Yeah.
but no different than a forest prowler or an ember bat. Driven by primal urges. It was hungry. That's all.
Well, let's make haste then, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, Benneck just did, but in like a more of a group sense. Do
He's
we
just
need
vibrating
to?
on the spot.
Do we need to, in some way, maintain the life of this Skyleaf, or is it
Make a nature check looking at the
close
Skyleaf.
enough? Is it close enough that we're actually going to get there?
You
without
wouldn't have
being
said.
an
You
issue?
probably no further than a day's travel away.
It's a 13.
A 13. Yeah, Nevermore. You would have heard of these things in your studies. They are used for some potions and tinctures and things like that. So you would have encountered them in your studies at the Avium. They are noteworthy for being extremely hardy despite not being overtly magical. It's surprising how well these things survive in the situations where they do survive. I will. There is a picture of one of the leaves in the book that I will post up. I will ask our tech serum to put next week so that people can see what the Skyleaf leaf looks like. It's quite pretty. It's actually shaped like a wing.
Oh.
You're
It's
quite pretty.
Thanks. It's asymmetrical, and it looks like a bird's wing, like a top-down view of one, and the striations on it look like the feather markings, which is why it's called Skyleaf. It's not actually because it grows in trees. Cool. So yeah, you presumably go looking for a big rock that looks like
Big
a frog.
old rock frog.
Rock frog.
Frog Rock.
Yeah.
It's a band I was in when I was in 16. Okay, yeah, make me an investigation check, please. Or survival. I'll allow survival instead. Ooh, Laz. Nevermore. Jude. All good. All good things. All good things. Benneck, you're focused on Lazarus, I think. But yeah, the rest of you, I think Nevermore's the one who spots it, but the rest of you are like less than a second behind. As you see a mound of stones that looks distinctly like a bullfrog's head. Like you it's actually surprising how much like a frog it looks from the angle you're coming at it. And you would actually, as you get nearer, it looks less like a frog the closer you get to it. It's almost like the only way to perceive it looking like a frog is if you came at it from the direction you came.
Does
Much
it
like
look
a-
like the frog that ate me?
It doesn't bear a specific resemblance. It looks like a frog. You were eaten by a toad, in fairness.
Oh,
And now it's
Um,
dead.
It's much larger. It is Disney's animated Aladdin, the Cave of Wonders. It's but you're not going to be walking into the jaws of a giant stone frog. It's sort of sitting like a bluff out of a rocky hill that is surrounded by trees. And so the head is sort of just sticking out of the trees. The trees are, however, badly burnt. This is the Scorched Grove, but it's the outskirts. It's the bit that grows back super regularly. Whenever the rains come in, the fertile ash and soil really renovates? Yeah, it renovates the whole place. Rejuvenates is the word I was looking for. Cool. So,
Let's look for the entrance, I suppose.
yeah, and I think we're going to call it there, actually. You've gotten where we needed to get. So,
Nice. That's rarity, isn't it?
yeah.
Oh my god.
I was like, should have added a third snake.
so surprising with
Yeah,
the
right.
juice
Yeah.
talk.
Well, yeah, look, honestly, I love the juice talk.
Oh, jeez.
Well, guys, that was fun. Let's put on some different music. This one's actually kind of I'm gonna leave it. I like this. It's cool, chilled and mellow. Alrighty. I think we'll do our favorite moments, shan't we? We didn't actually get to do the last time I ran a game on stream. We didn't do our favorite moments because we ran super long, and I actually plumb forgot to because I was really tired at the end of it. But that One Shot Wednesday was excellent, and those of you who are following and subscribing can go and check it out in our VODs. The dreaded
I played a
GM.
very sexy rogue.
Yeah, you got to see Rachel. Rachel, you got to see AJ in full sexy mode. It was actually
Full
quite
sexy mode.
confronting, like the polar opposite of Jude, particularly this evening. Like, I feel like Gwen knows all about how the birds and the bees work.
Gwen knows
She's
too
made
much
it.
about the bed.
She's made a few cocktails in her time. So let's talk about our favorite moments, shall we?
Start with the DM, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's all agree that Riffin roleplay.
Ugh.
Oh,
Top notch. Top notch.
Heartbreaking. Oh my god.
Actually crying.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Chef kiss.
And I'm really glad you went because I wasn't sure you would. I wasn't sure Laz would. I wasn't sure he'd want to see Riffin. But I'm really glad you went because there's a lot. It's really nice getting to show off the world behind the story and how the world proceeds along and how other people. It's not just a two-dimensional canvas where you exist and everybody else is just sort of pictures of people wandering around. And Lazarus is Lazarus and Griffin's story. Yeah, is a really. The more we learn about them, I wanted to do it because it gave you more information about Lazarus. So yeah, I was very happy with that one. Thank you.
In an organic way.
Yeah.
Sorry, Omi's comment in chat is perfect. Riffin for sure, with a splash of Susan interrupting recap.
I love that Omi phrased that the way they make a cocktail. Very, very solid work, Omi.
On
That's
theme.
favorite chat moment was that. There you go. Well done.
no.
All right. Yeah.
Obviously the Riffin moment was my favorite, but since that's already been mentioned, I'm going to say the council meeting was really good. You're really good at making things frustratingly gray. Like there's no clear you're doing the wrong thing. It's always so and just trying to role play with that, it's like the best kind of infuriating. It's really good.
Thank you.
And while we're on that topic, I'll say weird silence he had after seeing Nevermore's reaction, and then Trish immediately confronting the racism, and just like, oh wait, let me think.
It's like I know how they all react. It's just really hard to get myself into the headspace of each one of them independently because they all have three very different feelings about this.
Ups to the juggle.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite part is all the NPCs that you do a really good job of differentiating the NPCs and taking that care and time to make sure that the reactions are unique and that all of the NPCs are memorable and unique.
Thank you.
100%. Same
Absolutely.
with the tavern names, because I think that's my favorite DM moment.
Deserves being mentioned.
Oh, what was it? The fluffy lemon? What is?
Hairy lemon.
Hairy lemon.
Lemon.
Hairy
I've
lemon.
actually,
that's what it
it's
was.
like dead set. It's a real place. I've actually heard of the hairy lemon already. Like,
Oh, it's
in the-
brilliant.
yeah, it's,
The
I think it's
wonky
in
donkey is what got me.
The wonky donkey.
Yeah, wonky donkey.
I love that
I
you
might take
adamantly
that.
refused to admit or to like picture your tavern name as a strippers club until everyone was giggling.
And then we walk in, and there's a guy playing the flute.
No, what was it? What was the? It was something.
Yeah, what did set you all off?
It was
Fucking-
it
It
was
was
the guy
me.
playing the flute, but it was
I
not.
was like,
It was just
was the
when
way
we
you
walked in. It was
said
like
it.
the
It was
last, a last performing on, at a table or something.
It was you said like a single person on a stage and
Yeah.
playing his flute or something, and then we were like playing his flute.
Yeah. Vigorously performing fellatio didn't have the same ring to it.
Not yet.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Well, what is yours?
My favorite me moment. Yeah, I actually really enjoyed interrupting recap or at the end of recap. I'm really loving leaning into how meta the recap is getting. And yeah, I really enjoyed the recap butting in. But yeah, being Griffin, and it's a story within a story. It's a story that is part of the book. Because Griffin and Susan and Lazarus, actually, but he's not Lazarus, he's Oddwald, are real characters from the book that we are building. And finding out more about them, like the book doesn't specify their accents, that doesn't specify the refugees. Actually, you know what? That's my favorite DM moment. My favorite DM moment is adding the whole racial tension thing. That's not in the book.
Oh, cool.
It's if it is, it's very, very lightly touched on, and I'm getting to use. There's a Adam Hills said. I think it was Adam Hills who said, "You've got a microphone. Use it." And yeah, I've got a platform. I've got a place where people are obliged to listen to me if they want to hear my story. So they have to like hear my opinions on racial tensions, and but seen through the guise of this
Just
cute little
fun.
animal kingdom. Yeah. Cool. That's what I've really enjoyed about this, is finding that extra level of depth to this story, because it's a really cute story that we've gone super dark with.
Yeah.
All right, other people's favorite moments, and I want to AJ's, because I want to say a favorite AJ moment. And it's asking Trish to read the letter. It's not how the Trish did the letter at all. It's immediately after we had a super heavy moment. AJ, with prime storytelling skills, comes in and says, "Let's be stupid!" Boom, and nailed it, and lifted the mood right back up again. And that was my favorite AJ moment. It was a really, really solidly done piece of storytelling. It's like she's good at it or something, and you should go and watch her YouTube channel and subscribe to it.
We're almost at 100 subscribers.
Holy shit!
Product placement?
Later. Oh, my drinking
favorite-
starfish.
I think my favorite Jude moment, I think there's a few this episode, but Jude was just thoroughly confused for this entire episode. Learning about the starfish and how they were like boiled down into liquid, and Jude just being like, what? And then going from that to the whole juice talk, just playing confused and innocent Jude is so much fun. It's just my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would say, all of the confusion throughout. Jude was just on top of that this whole session. But I loved the way that Jude was adamant that she could survive exclusively off of muffins and only muffins. Adamant about it. It was one of
Susan's like, this is not a hill I am prepared to die on.
I quite liked snake parkour. That was fun. I think I like that parkour keeps becoming a thing because you've trained in it now. It's your thing.
Yeah, she's proficient.
Fantastic.
It's Jude's style.
I always just like the little like micro RPs that you always do in these games, and currently like today's was like, and now I'm gonna mix juice, I guess.
I don't know if anyone was picking up on that, but Jude was like mixing juice and then looking at her tummy being like, so
Yep.
how do I...
Yep.
It's the background stuff that you do when like other people are talking and you're just you're doing kind of physical role play at that point in time, and there's visible confusion on your face when like somebody says something, and it's not just like a momentary thing, it's like you stick with it as well. Which is what I really kind of I think is brilliant. So
Thank you.
yeah.
Alex T has a favorite moment. I pretty much came in with a kiddie Ray, so yeah, cool. Thanks for sticking around, Alex T. So not that long ago, but my favorite moment was when you kicked both of the snakes' asses.
Ashes.
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 Yep. Yeah,
Very good.
ashes.
I kicked your ass.
Yep. That's-
Omi's favorite Jude moment. How am I drinking a starfish? I'm not sure what I was 94 means, but yeah.
Subscriber.
Subscriber.
Oh, good. AJ, when she named the tavern Hung, Drawn, and Quarters, she didn't name it. Stop it. It's
No, I
spoiling
changed
my
it
thing.
from I changed it from quartered.
Right, yeah.
Quarters.
Okay.
Strippers.
Yeah.
Trish, the sex talk, so brilliant.
Obviously.
I mean, it has to be.
Standing ovation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is we've already told Trish, we've already told Rachel how great she was, because when we took a break, we were all like, "Oh my fucking god!"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't laughed like that in a while.
Like the four people who were not in the scene had to mute their mics because we're just pissing ourselves laughing.
Just recalling it makes me like.
I need to watch it back.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I'll definitely be watching that back.
Clipped. Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys weren't here for that part, definitely have to go back and watch that because it was fucking hilarious.
Find the break and the 5 minutes of hilarity before that, and then if you want some heartbreaking stuff, the 5 minutes of truly horrible stuff just before that. It was a good 10-minute stretch. Yeah, and also instructions on how to make weird cocktails.
Yep.
But that's a good one, Omi, yeah.
Or encouraging Jude to like experiment.
Self-discovery is important, okay? You gotta
absolutely.
know what's going on.
And I
Healthy.
actually, my favorite Trish was in that when you were like, or pretty girl, whichever, no judgment.
Yep.
You're like, yeah, or not a Jabin, no judgment, and a boy or a girl, no judgment. And yeah, that it's really nice inclusive thing that we've never really made a specific point of being on top of, but we are, yeah.
Trish is open-minded.
Yeah.
Jude is unbearably straight. Just like disgustingly straight.
Unaware that there's another way to be.
Just like, yeah.
But then she's not even aware of her being unbearably straight.
Yeah, she's not even in tune with it. But like, as a person who has to play the straight person, I'm like acutely aware of it.
We all have our flaws.
Damn it, I'm playing a straight character.
This.
So
I
Self-discovery.
think one of my favorite Trish moments was similar to what you said, Josh, about AJ kind of bringing things back to lightness right after. I also really enjoyed that Trish also did that as well, in unison with Nevermore, with the whole the same thing that buying a drink for every time he says pleb. I thought it was just perfectly timed right after that heavy moment for me as Lazarus to kind of have a moment that is not necessarily seen on stream, but like I was in that moment feeling a Lazarus moment of watching my son with his friends joke around after I was just like, oh no, one of my closest friends doesn't want to see me ever again. And then seeing them all joking around, and I was like, I'm so sad right now.
Oh my god.
But happy also.
Yeah.
Happy for
Oh my
your son.
God.
Yeah.
You're right.
My
Fuck.
favorite
Um,
Trish moment is that during the fight, when you were like, yeah, they're not as strong as the other ones, back off. But then just like charge it and like chop the thing and was like, sup.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Nice.
good.
That was a fun fight.
Yeah, I forgot the assigned genders at birth line. That was very well done from Serum. Favorite Trish, Omi. Now on to Nevermore. You're buying us drinks every time you say something elitist. Yeah. Oh, she should have been less specific. Yeah, more. Yeah, anything just elitist. Yeah, that would really
only
fuck him
shows
up.
pleb and
Half-
peasant. Pleasant,
half of
pleb.
his,
Oh my lord, pleb and peasant.
Pleasant.
Lebens.
I'm going to call them. I'm going to start calling them pleasants now
Do
because
it.
it's nice. It seems like a nice thing, but we all know that it's pleb and peasant.
Pleb and pleasant.
Also,
Love
you calling the council on the.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
good. Yep.
I love how like Trish stood up for that, but also how adamant she was not to drop it. Like she was very confrontational in the best way. Like
yeah.
standing to her morals. And it is
Yeah.
such like a, not to be political, but such a massive thing to like aspire to.
Mm. Yeah. That's it. Absolutely. Well done.
Who next, Josh? Who next?
Also,
Okay.
thanks for like Jude now has to somewhat discover herself in this show, and that's
Of course.
something I have to roleplay now.
And that's something I
Thank
have
you for
to.
that.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I have to facilitate.
I have to go
Super
back to
duper
Trish
straight.
at some point and explain that I found juice. Like,
Oh
And
no.
it's not right. She's completely gotten it wrong.
Oh,
It comes
no.
back like drenched.
Oh, Fudo.
It's completely. She like fell into a barrel of something. And it's like, Trish, I think I might be pregnant.
Oh, jeez.
spills juice on her tummy.
You're like afraid of swimming now. Just
Oh, God.
Brilliant.
Amazing. Huh. Yeah, shall we talk about Mitch?
Nevermore.
Mitch, what did you do so great? There was lots.
I have to commend you, Lazarus or Sean, just because I do feel like I have a good back and forth with you, and one of my favorite moments was being able to sit down with you just pretty much throughout the entire session, our back and forth father son kind of stuff, but sitting down with you and discussing our family prophecy and I feel like the connection that I have with Lazarus is a lot different than I was anticipating. I know this one's supposed to be about me, but yeah, kudos to you. so
I
yeah,
was gonna say kudos to you because I really appreciate that you consistently RP Nevermore
checking in with his father and going and not forcing the conversations, but being like, I'm going to talk to you. You are going to talk to me, and you are going to explain things, and I'm going to explain things to you, and we're going to come to an understanding. But I still love you. Some.
It's like that transition between child and adult when you have those conversations with your parents suddenly, and it's like this new transitional. But my favorite Nevermore moment was backseat driving your dad's spell casting as we're taking on the snakes.
Step. Like,
Dad, use this spell.
And Dad just drains the snake's soul out of the creature.
Or do that, sure. No worries.
Oh, wow. That's a
bit nasty.
That's a choice.
which is fun because that's what he was planning on doing. That's what he was planning on using the necromantic magic for on a much larger scale. And he's like, hey, proof positive, this shit works. Great. But we're talking about Nevermore right now. I liked at the very beginning when we were talking with Susan, and when you went back to Trish and was like, see, I called them people. Or like he was like, look how I wasn't an elitist snob that one time. That was fun. Yeah.
I really liked the moment after the council meeting where you just remind us all that my dad's not all bad, guys. Look, he didn't have to do that, but he did. Let's all just take a moment to appreciate he's not a complete douchebag.
Yes, he killed two students at the Avium, but he is now actively trying to make the room.
Everybody's killed people, right?
Who hasn't, you know?
Yeah.
That was a nice moment.
Yeah.
And to counteract that point, Devil's Advocate going, I was misled. I thought they were starving.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
Yeah, right?
I had another one. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, well, if they're not actively dying, like right today, if they're not going to die in the next week, then who fucking cares?
Yeah, what the hell?
I thought they were
don't eat much
starving. I'm like,
food
they are
anyway
starving.
most of
They're
the
just
time.
doing it slow. The worst way to starve.
Army with Benneck, if you knock on me, I swear.
Congratulations, Iberian, 11 months. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, woo-hoo.
I've also
Nice.
really enjoyed Smut Geek and HH going, some boy at the tavern spills juice on her. He spilled his juice on me, Trish!
No.
Oh, no. The boy being told he's going to be a father because of this. Dude not only kills people, but then pets and sings to the survivor, lol. Yeah. Yeah. That was fun. Let's talk about Lazarus. We've got one in chat from Lazarus. Monkey got in there first, explaining to the boys that Trish and Jude are having the birds and the bees talk so calmly and being like very different than when I gave you the talk, son. Yeah, that was excellent. Really good sort of straight man foil. Really, really solid work. And Du Bois having that chat, the three wizard boys having the she's doing. Like, I don't envy her, but she's doing awfully.
Yeah, right.
I gotta say, it's also such a calm way that Lazarus said that as well, though, that it wasn't an uncomfortable topic for
Yeah.
Lazarus.
I imagine
because,
it was
there's
very
always that
clinical.
awkwardness. Yeah, it was very, like,
Okay, so this is what happens.
matter of fact.
Well, that's what I imagined Lazarus talk with Nevermore was like, this is exactly what happens. It's fine.
Yeah.
And this is what it is.
It's fine.
quite
This
pleasant.
is fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Don't come home with an egg.
And he was, yeah. So, yeah, there's backstory you don't know. But yeah, because Nevermore didn't have a mum growing up.
Oh.
Lazarus raised him solo,
Which is why Lazarus was straight
which
to the
we've
fact,
sort of
so.
touched on, but we haven't really
Yes.
gone into in any great depth. Yeah.
I need to know.
I'm
My
just gonna leave that there.
favorite, my favorite Lazarus moment, and it's actually more of a Sean moment. You have these amazing pregnant pauses before speaking that just draw people in to needing to know what you're about to say. Like, and not in a way of like, I don't know what I'm going to say next, or I'm, hesitating to say something. It's genuinely like you can see the thoughts of the character going on, and it's beautiful to watch.
I'm gonna piggyback off that one because there's actually, and you did it, and Omi's pointed out, like taking the disappointed wrath of Riff, also basically eating the ash snake, but the wrath of Riff, which is a thing to say, when you were responding to him, and he was absolutely furious with you and blaming you for the death of his niece. And Lazarus does it a lot. He has this smile laugh. I'm getting ready to say something emotionally problematic. And it's so great. And I love it whenever I hear it coming. It's like, oh, here's a gold one coming. This is going to be good. This is going to be problematic at best. At best, this is going to be great. And you did it again with Susan at the beginning. It was a sort of a take care of him. And you're like, yeah, I hope so. Or something along those lines. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I adore that because it adds again to AJ's pregnant pauses beautifully. It punctuates it so well. Yeah.
I appreciated the fact that you did step up and help the peasants, but only after you tapped me on the shoulder and mentioned Rule 64, which was be kind to those who have your back. So it seems less the fact that you were doing it for the peasants and more the fact that you were doing it because like you were helping us out or doing like us a favor. So it was only done for that reason, and like still it was a good thing, but it was tempered by that. So but it was good.
Alex T, dad joke. Dad's puns suck the life right out of you. Yeah, he's unfortunately Alex. He's not really that kind of dad. I don't know. Would Lazarus have ever done quipping back in his day when he was younger? Do you think he would have been a quipper?
Maybe when he was more positive about the world.
This is it. Yeah. He considers, as far as he's concerned, actively responsible for most of the shit that's going down right now. Yeah. So yeah.
Dude.
Thanks for sticking around, though, Alex. I'm really glad to have you in chat. Anybody else have anything interesting to say about Sean?
First.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go for it, right.
I really enjoyed watching you fuck with Benneck. that was just fun. Good old fun that was.
And he's so easy to fuck with as well. Like totally different to Helvig, who was also very easy to fuck with, but very differently.
Different colors of vulnerable to being fucked with.
Reeks of vulnerable to being fucked with.
Yeah, it's just me. My favorite Lazarus moment is, I think, when like Griffin like went off at you, but you still like extended the olive branch, so to speak.
Yeah.
And being like, well, his complaint was because you didn't trust anybody, you didn't let him choose to help you, and you were like, well, I'm gonna take that step now. I'm sorry it's late, but here, we're gonna be over there if you're gonna come with, but here it is, and then leave.
Yeah.
I thought that was just like, it speaks a lot. He's changed a lot in quite a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Especially with his son, so.
Absolutely. Really good. All right. Well, we haven't talked about Benneck yet, but do we have a favorite Sean moment? Did we hear that one? A Sean's favorite Sean?
Oh, I would say same as Dan. Like because when I was listening to Griffin berate me, I was sitting there and I was like in the moment of role playing, like the scolded, shameful friend, where it's like, oh, I can't look at you, I can't even think of what to say. In my mind, I kept thinking like, oh, I gotta say something, and I was also kind of like, self-conscious about the silence in that moment, especially because you were doing such a good job, Josh. That I was like, I need something, but it can't
be anything. Like, it needs to just be something small, and that I'm glad I was able to get something to Riff, because I didn't want to just walk away. I wanted, as part of this sort of far too late redemption for Lazarus, I wanted to at least extend, like you said, the olive branch out there.
Yeah.
And admit that I'm a narcissist.
Yeah,
Somewhat.
that was deep.
First step is knowing.
I particularly love it because it's been an opportunity to show through the eyes of his two best friends that he saved Riffin's life. He saved the lives of a good number of the people of Ashbarrow. He made an honest mistake that he made trying to defend his friends, trying to make sure they didn't have to risk their lives and doing it for them. He made the wrong choice for the right reason, or at least for an objectively moral reason. And then seeing it from the other perspective of, yeah, but you didn't save everybody at Ashbarrow, and your actions probably made this worse, and my niece is dead because of you. But you also, he's only alive to be mad at you because you literally carried him out of Ashbarrow. And getting the stories are fucking nuanced. That's the thing. That's why so much is great. And yeah.
Welcome, by the way, everybody.
Yeah,
From the Eldritch Scribe.
They just raided us. Have they?
Yeah.
Eldritch Scribe, welcome, raiders. Did you enjoy your game? Did you manage to kill that giant beastie you were chasing? We had our lovely Karen Schlink and Nikolai Kravchenko over on Eldritch Scribe this evening, and they were playing a one-shot over there. So yeah, head on over after that and watch the VOD of that. That'll be great. I intend to. Great. All right, let's talk about Benneck.
Let's.
Dan, what did you do well?
What did I do well?
Tell us.
I always like it when the dice let me do things that I want to do. As in, like, for Benneck getting that, like, investigation for the Skyleaf, because he's such an outdoorsy guy.
And also, I think trying to find his place a bit, trying to sort of prove that he can hang with the defenders of Alderheart.
Yeah, and like the Lazarus thing is like a constant like humor in his now like added planner, because it's like, great, now I also have to babysit this prisoner person. To be like, it's kind of his then, and also like right after getting like the natural 20 on initiative because he's up there and like ready to go. I was like,
yeah,
I love it.
It is great when the dice matches the world that it should be. Yeah. The dice agrees.
My favorite Benneck is all the freaking sass. Just so much sass from him. What was it? It was something. Lazarus said something, and you were just like, "I hate you."
I hate you.
Yeah.
Just so brilliant.
It's my job not to trust you, and you're doing a great job. I hate you.
So it was. I told him he was doing a really good job at watching me.
Yeah, thank you for reminding us of that, Omi. Yeah, that's what it was. Throwing Laz the finger when you're going to bed.
I was like, wait, he's got like talents. I forget what the hell has. Like, would it change? And I was like, well, fuck it, it's the same.
Yeah.
Also snitching with the fucking...
Yes. And the way you snitch too.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It being a report.
Yeah, and it just comes back to... it's really a kind of a throwback to us just being like, you need to take notes because you need to do a recap every now and then or whatever. And that's just come back to bite Nevermore. As you reveal things. But I also like that. Trish was like, "Oh, he said he loves us. All right, I'll let him off for that one pleb thing."
I am finding Benneck is the king of one-liners, and today my favorite one-liner was, "First time I ate vegetables, wild."
Yes.
Cracked me up.
Who was I talking? Who were you talking to at the time?
It was about like
Was it Fancy was there?
No. It was
No.
with Susan
Havel?
and the starfish.
Oh, was it? All right.
It was when we had a
yeah.
vaguely vegan conversation.
That's right. Yeah.
when people were like throwing shade at how like Jude has only eaten muffins, and I was like, Benneck technically like only eaten one type of food.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
My favorite Benneck was introducing you to all the people who haven't met him. Like you're going back through all these people you guys know, and he's like, "Hey, I am also here." And
So-
how it's seeing how. But what's fun was seeing how you dealt with that, and seeing how you being like, because I said before that he's finding his place in the group, and is like, I can hang with the defenders of Alderheart. But actually, I sort of take it back. I don't think he is. I think he's very solid in his position there. He knows his job. He knows why he's there. He's not a defender of Alderheart, and I don't think he thinks of himself as one. He is Lazarus's jailer bodyguard.
He's like defending the defenders.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's very secure in that position, it seems to me. And so everybody going like, and I don't know you, but you seem great. And he's just like, you don't need to know me. That's not my role here. And I love that. That's really cool. I love that Benneck is becoming this really deep character really quickly.
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback off of that. That's kind of what, because I was thinking about it, and it's like, I really enjoy the shit you give Lazarus, because yes, it is funny, but it's also like exactly like you're saying, Josh, Benneck knowing what his job is and knowing what he's supposed to be doing here, and not really fussing one way or another, and just knowing this is what I've got to do. So I'm gonna keep looking at you, I'm gonna keep glaring at you, and I'm gonna tell you how much I fucking hate you. And it's great. It's great. It also keeps reminding me that I am a convict, and I can't
Yes.
I can't just
Yes.
do whatever I want, and I need to make sure I remember that.
You can't pity yourself out of this. I have a job. Look at all of them fighting, like with Griffin, and then like Benneck being like, "How is he gonna react to that?" I was like, "Is it loud?"
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then Josh is like, "Yeah, it is," and I was like, "I don't think he cares." He's like, "Oh, I still have a job to do."
Serum, all good till Josh kills him off.
Serum.
Benneck reads Benneck's will. I love you all, and I require you to eat me. It's only right.
That's great.
Spoilers.
I think Benneck and Trish love to give Nevermore and Laz shit, and I'm here for it. Yeah, it is great, Susan.
I love Kudo the Shiny Dino, their comment on get 5 bags of holding, fill them with water from the decanter of endless water, get above the fire, and turn all 5 bags inside out.
What a complicated plan.
But
Yeah.
pretty cool.
You know what you'll do? You'll scold yourselves to death.
Oh, the stuff.
Yeah, it just
Oh,
it
the
turns to
steam.
steam. Yeah.
It's like you're trying to douse the plane of fire.
Oh, I forgot about Spa Day, and then me going, Benneck doesn't know what that means.
Yeah.
Ah.
It's
Fuck,
okay.
I forgot Spa Day. God damn.
I mean,
We need
like,
to
yeah.
do a
Let's
new
save.
spa day that
Let's
Benneck
save
did.
this. Let's save the Humblewood, and then we'll have Spa Day.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Does anybody have any
Deserves
more favorite Benneck moments? We all happy? We all good?
Brief, just like a little ad, just to toot my own horn. You just reminded me, Josh, about how you introduced me to all of these like bunch of people that the defenders have interacted with, and I think it was one of the council members were like, "Hey, we heard from the dean that you were gonna be around as like Lazarus is like jailer, so you must be
Yeah.
like and like threw him a bunch of compliments." And how he was just like awkward about it, like, "Oh shucks."
Well, also, like, it was Beta, and Beta is like quite a famous person, and also a graduate of the Avium, and a very respected one at that. So yeah, that's cool.
She doesn't beat around the bush.
She does not. And
You're
there
so
was
bastardized.
Thank
There was
you.
a bit like I forgot about the meeting with Havel completely when I was remembering favorites, but somebody said, and I feel like it was probably AJ, about Tevor. Had he seen Tevor?
Hmm.
And I was like, that was pretty fucking heartbreaking because and then I said, I'm pretty sure he's dead. And yeah, there was a oof.
Yeah, it was just so matter of fact.
Yeah.
from Havel.
Oh, but then he recounted how it's like, you know, the feeling when you see somebody.
In the crowd, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway,
I like
that
to
was
throw
fun.
in some trauma.
Yeah, just throw it right back at
Every
me. It's like,
episode.
hey, Josh, you can have some trauma too. You're a bit
Trauma.
invested in Havel.
Weekly
It's-
trauma.
It's really
Weekly
sad.
Trauma with AJ.
Yeah, because in the book, they're a couple. And if Tevil survives, they living together and being a couple by now. And so every time I go back and I'm like, no, just delete all of that stuff. That's not relevant.
Nah, he was never supposed to survive. It's fine.
Jeez.
It's
Because you
fine.
fuckers
Maybe-
can't run away fast enough.
Maybe they're hanging out.
Yeah, he and Hellbig are hanging out.
Him.
Yeah.
He's
All right.
not corrupted.
Well, guys, that was super duper fun. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. Chat. All right, we will go away from here now. We've been streaming for altogether far too long and being miserable and happy and joyful and making cocktails. So everybody, thank you so much for watching and playing. Deck of Many did amazing work on the source book. I'm sure you all agree. A lot of this is theirs. I've just embellished it. Serum, amazing work behind the scenes as always. I was super glad he was here. I was all set to run the stream myself, but he showed up, there was doubt about that, and I'm super glad I didn't have to. So thank you so much, Serum. Breepai, our artist, I think you can all agree is amazing. That is their work there on the stream. You can see maybe Trish Caper. I'm never right when I say that, so I'm never trying anymore. It's all great. And our amazing sponsors, Wooten Forge, the purveyors of WA's finest tabletop gaming accessories, all made of handcrafted out of beautiful Australian and exotic hardwoods. Check out their work at wootenforge.com. They've got merch now as well. You can get t-shirts. There are some very pretty books now, I believe.
Yes, they just released a notebook.
Oh, sick. Yeah.
A leatherette notebook, and you can get it engraved with your own design if you want to.
Amazing. Yeah, all of that. Check that stuff out. Come back next week. We will be giving away something that they made. You could be the owner of it. Is it not? Don't stop holding that. Is it that, or is it similar to that?
It's similar to this. This is
It's
my
similar
one.
to that.
You two could have hardwood in bed like Jude.
You could. That's why AJ's so comfy. Now, as always, if you've enjoyed the show, please follow, subscribe, and don't forget to check us out on YouTube if you want to find out what happened in previous episodes. Guys, tell me who you are and where we can find you. Let's work our way back across. Rachel, who the heck are you?
Hello, my name is Rachel Foucar. I'm a writer, actor, and creative trash at large. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rachel Foucar. And if you like my bullshit improv skills, perhaps you will like things that I make up with like years of editing and re-editing and re-editing. I have a book that you can get on the internet. It's called The Rings of Mars. It's sci-fi, and if you check it out, that would be nifty.
Cool. Mitch, tell us about yourself.
Hey everybody, I'm Mitch. I did a juice diet for a month a couple years ago. I had nothing in me but juice for a full month, and I can tell Jude that was a horrible decision. So Jude, don't get juice in you. But you can find me on Twitter. That's Mitch_Earnshaw. And yeah, I just share stupid shit on there, and this is where I am every Monday, except potentially next week, maybe, if that's.
Do you mean?
I mean, because it'll be more than just Monday.
Yeah. We are going to tell people about it. Let's tell people about it now. So not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday, the Wednesday after the season finale of Humblewood, the Humblewood crew will be coming back to play a one-shot. We're DM'd, and this is exciting, by our very own Rachel frickin' Foucar. Rachel Foucar will be DMing for the very first time on stream.
I'm not nervous. You're
Yeah.
nervous.
Yeah, your mum's nervous. She's going to be amazing. All of you should come along and watch her be amazing. I'm excited for her to be amazing. And we are all going to
Hell
be
yeah.
mystery solving people. It's going to be exciting. Cool.
Off-brand Scooby Gang.
Yeah.
Oh, we're very committed
Dan,
to that.
tell us
okay.
about yourself and where we can find you.
Well, hello.
Yeah.
I am Dan. I am DREB in Twitch chat and on Discord. Aside from that, I am nowhere. For I am an appreciator of friends. In the meat face, I lurk in the darkness below, spreading the good vibes. And through that, play Benneck every Monday on Humblewood over here. Hello. Come see us again in the finale. I just remembered. Whoop, whoop. And that's it. Goodbye.
Yes, he lurks below. It is the Dan Thulu, our Lord and Savior TM. Cool. AJ, tell us about yourself and where we can find you.
Hi, I'm AJ Winters. I am a voice actor and creative here in Perth. WA, you can find me on Instagram at AJWintersVO, or you can find me on Winter's Tales, my YouTube channel. My first World Builder episode went up this Sunday, and I have all the socials for that you can follow: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, the works, at Winter's Tales Co.
Marvelous.
Yeah.
And Sean, please tell us about yourself, my friend.
Hi, everybody. I am Sean, and I have been Lazarus. You can find me doing creative D&D stuff and creative stuff in general over at Paradise RPG or at Odo_Sean for social media from my personal accounts with my other stuff. I am a dungeon master. I am a writer. I am a filmmaker. I am a professor of those things as well, and I have enjoyed my time here very much so, and look forward to the season finale next week. Thank you all for having me. I'm also on The Scales Above, which is starting their third season this Friday, where I play Auric, the other bad dad. Maybe not as bad as this dad now that I'm playing him more. But he is a Chronomancer time boy, and it's very exciting to be back with him as well. And yeah.
Yeah, he's just a distracted dad.
That's true.
Hashtag
He's more of a distracted dad.
Hashtag distracted dad. Yeah, head over and look up, look up Paradise RPG. Look up Winter's Tales on YouTube. Go and find the book that Rachel wrote. We all do cool stuff. I am Josh the Pirate, Madame and Monsieur, Dama unter Herren, and beings of indeterminate gender. I have been your humble DM and storyteller this evening. And if you've enjoyed my face and voice, you can find me in Paparotica at Fringe World and generally infesting the art scene in Perth. Alternatively, if you like the majestic voice, but you think I could stand to tone the bass down a bit, I am part of the There Be Dragons crew. We're a 5e D&D podcast in a fantasy gunpowder setting where I play the infamous and deadly pirate Skern Felspar and his little dragon, Crush. Ep 30 dropped very recently. Go over, check it out. It's pretty messed up. I think I'm struggling to remember what happened in that one. I imagine we're dealing with the aftermath of killing a giant bird. Yeah, it was a fun time. Or there might have been a drug lord. I don't know. Everything it melds together. It's brilliant. It's really fun. So, guys. Now we're going to do what we always do at the end of our streams. We're going to pass on the love. And looking at my followed channels right now, I see that Charlalo is streaming. She is drawing art. She is often drawing D&D based art. So we will head over there and pass on our love to Charlalo.
I just want to say one thing really quickly, if I can.
I love that your face is so close to the mic, so do that. That's
I just want to say thank you to all the viewers, because you guys in chat have been absolutely fucking incredible from the very beginning back in episode 1 all the way through. No matter where you came in, you've just been so fucking supportive, laughing along with us, sharing your favorite moments, rolling the dice for us. Massive fucking thank you to all of you, because you're the viewers, and you're just so fucking supportive. So thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
The reason we keep coming back is because this is a really great way to play D&D. It's a really great way to tell stories and have your audience interact with you in real time. It's so freaking cool. As a live performer, as somebody who does it on stage, it's so... I got into this and I fell hard. I was like, fuck, I love this. This is so cool. So anyway, we're going to go and rate Charlotte. Chuck up your raid emotes to her in chat. Tell her where you're from. Tell her where you've been. Tell her the stories. Tell her the ridiculousness. Let her figure out for herself the whole business with the juice. And yeah, we shall see you next week for the season finale. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.